All right. Damn straight, we're going live 2 minutes early. I'm one efficient person. Was going to swear, didn't. Keeping the YouTube money rolling in. Hello, everyone. I've started a couple minutes early, so I can actually write a message and tell people to join, which I will do now. I hope everyone's having a fantastic week. Please, if anyone's here, would be so kind as to just let me know that the audio is working, I would appreciate it. And in the meantime, I am going to... do I add everyone? Nah, we won't just yet. I'll add everyone in the copy that Discord. Oh shit, I just typed we're go. We're going live. There we go. And then I'm going to add everyone in the copy that Discord. So, general. Oh, people have messaged me. I'll reply to them later. I'm live reviewing copy now. If you don't want to get pinged, don't be in the Discord. John, thank you for letting me know that audio is working. And Jonathan, good afternoon. 2 Johns. We'll give people a little bit of time to get in. We'll wait till 8 p.m. to actually start. How has everyone's week been so far? Hope everyone's having a good one. This is the first Whetstone Wednesday, I think, that we've done in 2 or 3 weeks, because I know Rod did the last one, but we've also been doing a bunch of masterclasses and things between then, so it's been a little bit all over the place. I also feel like there's a little bit of lag on my camera, but I don't, you know what? I don't have the wherewithal to even deal with that right now. Someone said there's someone in the corner, which actually scared me for a second, but hopefully you just mean that, or that, in which case we're fine. Philip L said, can you review mine? I'm reviewing the 10 that put their submissions into the Whetstone Critiques channel in the Copy That Discord. Hello, everyone. Hello, Martin. Hello, Jessica. Hello, Paula. Hey, Paula. We were talking not so long ago. Hey, G-Man. Good evening, Alex. 8 p.m. in the UK? 8 p.m. in the UK. Yes, it is 8 p.m. now, so that's what I was referring to. And I think there's an email going out as well. All right. Alex, one quick question. You're lucky you're getting in before I'm starting. If I were to write ads within a whole sales funnel for a client, how many ads could I offer to write initially? I mean, pick a number. Like, I would recommend running at least kind of 3 different ones. Giving them 3 different options, assuming you're talking about like meta, like Facebook ads, so kind of like feed ads, and going with 3 very different approaches, 3 very different angles. But it totally depends. Like if you're doing Google ads, then you could write combinations like 10, 20. You could just do 1 if you're just doing a TikTok ad or something, and it's going to be really high production. Then the question is a bit too broad, so you'd have to give me a bit more context. Hello, Rachel, as well. So I'm not laughing at you. Sean knows I'm streaming, and he just sent me a message saying, "I know you've just started streaming, but it's just popped up." I'm going to turn my notifications off as well, just because otherwise you guys will be able to see them. But he just sent me a message saying, "I know you've just started streaming, but I want to show you the saddest fish and chips that I've ever seen." So let me turn notifications off before I get distracted with that. Oh, that is bad though. Oh my god, that is actually really bad. I'm actually going to share this with you guys because that's depressed me. Let's critique some fish and chips before we get started with copy. Hang on, I'm going to message Sean. Going to review that on stream right now. You guys aren't ready for this. So for context, I worked in a fish and chip shop for a while, so I'm quite harsh with fish and chips when I see it. Look at that. Look at that. Mate. That's like a hash brown inside a spring roll, which has been folded over and given like 2 goes in the fucking batter and then burnt. And those are not proper fish and chip shop chips. That's just fries with a little bit of skin left on. And it's served on a thin plate. Which, you know, I can I'm swearing all the time. It doesn't matter about YouTube monetization now. I can fuck with a rectangle plate, don't get me wrong. But it has to be like a dish if it's fish and chips, and, you know, there's got to be like tartar sauce with it or something. That's ridiculous. That's actually crazy. That's upset me. That's not been a good start to the stream. You guys know the rules. The first 5 minutes of these streams are me letting everyone get in and catching up with you guys. So sorry if you've joined and expected copywriting advice straight away instead of fish and chip review. But that's actually upset me quite a bit. Right, okay, enough of that. All right, hello everyone. Let me look at some questions first. So, Sean's commented, it tastes as good as it looks. Samosa is the word I was looking for. Not spring roll. That's what I meant. Sean, I'm so sorry. I assume that's in America though, because you were flying out of Baltimore, right? So you know the solution. Move to the UK. Move to the third world. Okay, so I'm going to get going in a minute. Let's have a look at a couple of questions. What things can copyright provide to e-com brands? Like, I know emails, product descriptions, and meta ads. Is there more to it? I mean, I would say that the main ones are always going to be ad scripts, meta ads, Google ads, native ads, potentially, loads of different email sequences, welcome sequences, post-sale sequences, just regular offer campaigns, abandoned cart, abandoned page, pre-sale sequences, Black Friday, seasonal campaigns, sale, just general offer, like kind of discount stuff, product pages, landing pages, like kind of pre-product, if you're doing stuff like advertorials or quiz funnels, like there's tons of stuff. It depends on the e-com brand. So there's loads of stuff. Hello, Soheb. Yeah, exactly. Burnt samosas. That is burnt samosas is the words I was looking for. That's the best way to describe it, definitely. Bit off topic. I just became a paid member of the Patreon. What's the difference between the Platinum Collection and should I switch over? Yes, Casey, you should switch over to the Platinum Collection. We're going to be going back and updating everything, so it just points towards the Platinum Collection. For now, it's fine. You get the same stuff. In fact, there is slightly more in the Patreon. But you should move over to the Platinum Collection because we're just upgrading everything and putting it over there just so it's all in one place. But yeah, don't worry if you have subscribed to the Patreon. Like, that's fine for now. And we'll be sending emails out before we sunset the Patreon and before we move over. There's something in your room. He keeps waving at us. Oh, he's a dickhead. Honestly, I don't like him. New challenge: write copy to sell the faux fish and chips. Hey, Arthur. You know you're the cutie pie here. How to know a headline is unique? I assume that you are referencing the 4 U's test, in which case, if you're just trying to judge it by uniqueness, then often that comes down to how different is it from other things that are trying to grab people's attention, first of all. Does it show specifically through ultra specificism that the rest of the copy itself is worth reading, going to be useful to me, which is another of the 4 U's. So really, when you're comparing it to other headlines it is competing against or other pieces of copy, that's the only way to really tell if it's unique. So hopefully that helps a little bit. Basically just make sure it's as different from, not as different, but just make sure it's different from what other people are doing and make sure it's still relevant to the rest of the copy that it's leading into. Okay, right, that's enough spiel. I have 10 pieces of copy to critique today, so I'm going to be getting through them as quick as I can. I'll do a little bit of a Q&A kind of throughout the stream and at the end. And then I may even give you guys a bit of a sneak peek at the, I will give you guys, because I think I said I would. I'll give you guys a bit of a sneak peek at one of the things I'm working on for the long course, which is coming out. So without further ado, let's actually share and have a look at some copy. I will move that over there so I can see what you guys are saying. All right. Now, this already looks like Alec. This looks like it was submitted by Alec. I assume it was, because this is almost exactly the same structure as the copy I reviewed earlier. So let's have a look at this. Context. Kids Taekwondo class service page for a local business. Traffic is mostly from organic Google search, but a small percentage is from Google Ads. Okay. It would be interesting to know what kind of terms people are searching for. I would assume just taekwondo near me or kids taekwondo, and then it'd be interesting to see what kind of copy the Google Ads are as well. Let me zoom in a little bit more. There we go. Kids taekwondo class. Do you want your kids to learn a sport that teaches life skills? Now they can, thanks to the unique Little Brave Tigers program, all in a safe and dedicated kids class for ages 5 to 8. So, right. He's coming from Google Ads or from organic search. My guess is that both of those have people typing in taekwondo, right? So, yeah, you're showing kids taekwondo class, which is fine, because the main thing, obviously the image would be kids doing taekwondo. The main thing, you want to message match. You want to show that the thing that they've clicked on to see is the thing they're actually getting. So just showing that it's a kids taekwondo class is great. The next thing I need to look at or think about are objections. What objections might I have to signing my kid up to a taekwondo class? Here are a few off the top of my head. Where is it? What time is it? How much does it cost? Because this is a place I have to take my kids, right? Those three factors are very important. I don't really give a shit about like how you're trying to sell the class right now if those three things don't match. So first of all, I want to make sure it's nearby. I want to make sure that it's not going to break the bank, and I want to make sure that it's a time that I can do. So if you know what those parameters are, include them at the top of the page, because those are the things people are going to be looking for immediately. Don't stop thinking about like, oh, how can I make this copy good? Think, how can I make this page functional, right? That's what you should be thinking. And the thing people are asking themselves are, oh, well, is this the right taekwondo class for me? Which comes down to how much is it? Where is it? When is it? Class is starting from like $19, right? Or whatever. You might say it on here. I don't know. Because, and I'll tell you something. And this is a broader point about funnel strategy, right? If someone has landed on this page, it's because most likely they're searching for taekwondo classes. So, do you think that they're not sold on taekwondo yet? Probably not. They're probably already pretty sold on taekwondo, considering they're searching for taekwondo classes. So, why are we kind of thinking, why is your main kind of thing, okay, well, I need to talk about the life skills it gives and all that stuff? I'm not saying you shouldn't say any of this. I'm just saying think about what people are actually there for. They're there because they already know they want to do taekwondo. So this would be far better just saying kids taekwondo classes starting from $19 an hour, for example, or whatever it would be. Location, a little map pin with just exactly where the location is. You're saying, like Regent Street, Cambridge. And then the time when it is, like every Wednesday, like 5:30 to 7:30, like PM. Boom. That gives me, as the reader, everything I need to know. I'm going to like you a lot more if you just have those things. Like, oh, fantastic, great. Are there any other big objections or big questions someone might have? Might be, okay, and this is just me doing research, like when people are searching for, because I bet right now, and let's do it on incognito as well. Let's like try and, I think it might still do my area actually, because I haven't got my VPN on. But let's just do kids taekwondo. I'm probably absolutely butchering this spelling. Taekwondo classes. Let's just type that in. Okay, it does do my thing. All right, fine, whatever. Doesn't matter. Point is, like, people ask, what age should a kid start taekwondo? Is taekwondo worth it? Is taekwondo good for kids? Is taekwondo better than karate? And then let's just type in kids taekwondo questions, for example. Or not questions, sorry, forum even. So this is the kind of stuff where it's like, I'm looking for what people who are searching this kind of stuff are already asking in places. Okay, so people asking, is martial arts good for their kids? All about taekwondo, parents forum, martial arts for children, like questions to the taekwondo community, like this kind of stuff. So I come on here and then write, like, what are people asking? I started training martial arts. Best thing I did. He's calmed down a lot. He also had anger issues. What else have we got? She loves it. She was very shy, didn't speak to anyone, and struggled to fit in. And then her confidence has skyrocketed. He loves it. He concentrates and listens well. He was painfully shy. So the reason I'm looking at this is because, all right, why are people looking for kids' taekwondo classes in the first place, right? And then obviously I've just opened up the first few after one search term. Why are people searching for kids' taekwondo classes? It's because of things like that. It's because they're like, oh, I want my kid to socialize more. I don't want them to be shy. I want them to build more confidence in themselves. So, like, I haven't even looked at this copy, like the rest of the copy yet, because I can already tell, like, you've just picked this up, you know, if this is a client project, whatever, and you've just gone, oh, okay, let me, like, just think about, like, how I can make this taekwondo sound really cool and how I can make the class sound really good. But ultimately, like, have you done the research about why parents even are looking for taekwondo for kids? Do you want your kids to learn a sport that teaches life skills? Like, yeah, maybe some people are talking about life skills, but in my admittedly very short research period, they're talking about shyness and confidence levels, you know, and wanting to fit in. So instead, perhaps something else, after you've said about, oh, kids' taekwondo classes in Cambridge with time, money, place, etc., the next best thing to have in your headline might be like, build your child's confidence with structured taekwondo lessons, right? Because other things there might have been talking about, like, oh, I wanted to make sure it was good for all ages. So again, perfect for all ages or from 4+, you know. So obviously, to be fair, you've got all in the same dedicated kids class for ages 5 to 8. But I didn't even look at this copy. I just went straight to, okay, if someone's asking me to write a page about taekwondo, let's think just logically and a strategy point of view, what does the funnel look like? And then what are parents even looking for and asking for? Those two things that I've just done, really nailing down why people are searching for it and giving them the information they're likely to want anyway, because they've probably already convinced themselves taekwondo is a good thing. If I can get those summarized in the top section of the page, in the hero section, and then give them a clear CTA, you've got register today. A nice one potentially might just be, you know, like, give us a call or inquire now, or like ask about space, you know, just to get them to send an email. So, you know, or a form, so it doesn't feel like, oh, I've got to actually sign up for this right now. That would be a far easier way to funnel people into this. And you can do that with not that much copy, and you don't even need much more copy on the page outside of just showing that, yeah, loads of kids do this and they have loads of fun, and, you know, parents can get involved and, like, blah, blah, blah. You just need to then just show testimonials and photos of it happening, because you've already got the important information. The point I'm trying to say is, like, you don't need to go into this and approaching it like, oh, this has to be the best copy in the world. It has to be long form. It has to be this, has to be that. Just think about the basic questions of why we're writing in this first place and what do people care about most when they're searching for it. Boom. Much, much better way of writing a page. Alex, you're going to end up on a watch list with those kind of queries. Fair enough. Didn't think about that when I did it. Anyway. Kids class in action, 10 to 30 second video of kids class in action. Yep, good thinking. Testimonials. Yep. What life skills, you ask? Well, learning taekwondo is so much more for kids than just kicking, earning colorful belts, and collecting trophies. Our grandmasters thoughtfully designed and refined over 30 years for the kids program to be growth focused, to bring the following life skills that build your kid's strong foundation for the future. Continue reading below to find out. So I didn't want to come across like that I was too harsh on this. I just wanted to kind of use this as a bit of an example as to how you can think about things before you even start writing copy to make this bit a bit more pointed. But I actually think the kind of idea you've got and the way you're building this out, I think is okay. You know, talking about, you know, we value building life skills here. This is more than just taekwondo, which I kind of hate that trope in writing. I hate, oh, it's more than just this, but it probably worked pretty well with something like this. You know, more than just taekwondo for your children, build life skills, discipline and self-control. Do your kids get angry quickly, like an active volcano about to burst? Well, it's not their fault. Kids have fast metabolism, curious-driven behavior, and natural play instinct. It's our job as parents to provide a safe way for our kids to release aggressive energy, or bathe them through a high-energy and fun activity like taekwondo. Again, good. I like that. You're referencing something. Even in the small bit of research I did, I saw people saying this. So I think this is a smart way to build this page up. Adaptability and independence. Kids might grow up unable to move out on their own. That might be a bit too like presumptuous, potentially. Unable to move out on their own, like at this age of life, like 5 to 8. I don't think parents are quite worrying about that just yet. I think it's more about making friends in the playground. So I maybe wouldn't be talking about like university and things just yet, because I don't think most parents are thinking that far ahead in their immediate worries. It's more just, oh, my kid's getting bullied at school, or they're, not having a great time, or they don't want to go to school. Again, I like the idea. I think just change this to fit the audience a little bit more. Building core confidence helps to develop a deep, lasting sense of self-assurance that comes from within. Again, the reason I'm not even like reading this copy very much, line by line, is because I don't need to, because this is, people are going to read it by skimming and going, oh yeah, cool, oh, that's really good. Are there any more life skills? Yes. And if we would list them all, this webpage would be about 30 pages long. And no one has time to read all that. I think that's a cop-out. I think that's a bad way of putting that, because I think it just sounds like you don't actually have 30 pages worth of life skills to talk about. And I don't even think just saying, are there any more life skills? I think I would just change the subtitle to something like, like what else can your child get out of taekwondo? And then just this list. I think that would be fine. Meet our grandmaster, worry the kids might not be the right fit. We've been teaching kids since 1996, including kids with ADHD, shy kids, and patient kids. This is great. This is something else, objections that like I would have that we saw in our research as well. Someone talking about ADHD and shyness and stuff. Bring that up here to the hero section and say perfect for shy children, like building confidence in children, children who are shy, children with anger issues, ADHD, that might be a really good thing to include up here, because it seems like it's the kind of people searching. Wanting to introduce kids to exercise, put that all up top. Child's well-being is a priority. They have so much fun, they'll forget they're ever learning valuable life skills. Watch your kids grow taller, eyes glow brighter, and confidence skyrocket. Kind of a bit of fluff, but fine. Build a strong foundation for both physical and mental development for your kids today. Give your kids a genuine desire for personal growth, a healthier alternative to video games. Yeah, nice. A perfect after-school safe space to make new friends. Also nice. Try today and watch your kid transform and achieve feats you never thought possible. I would also add somewhere on this page just about like not only all these other things, but also they get to learn fucking taekwondo. They get to learn how to beat the shit out of people. So that's also probably worth mentioning, just as a it is a benefit, because I think parents want their kids to be able to defend themselves. FAQ, how long is a typical class? Yep, very, very good to have FAQs down here as well. I would just take the most important ones of these and put them, at the top as like almost like a widget, just saying, oh, here are the 4 most important things to know. Does my child need any prior experience? No prior experience is needed. Again, really good. Something else I'd put up the top. What should my child wear to class? Taekwondo uniform is recommended. Comfortable athletic clothing is fine. I guess a question I have is, do I need to provide that myself? Do I need to buy it? Clarify that here. How often should my child clean classes? We recommend 3 times a week, but flexibility is available. When my child get hurt, safe child priority, we use practically controlled needs and instructor supervision. All the benefits, taekwondo helps this. How does it compare to video games? Fun engagement. Yep. How long does it take to earn a black belt? Average takes 5 to 8 years. Regular practice, dedication, and commitment. Do you offer a free trial class? Yes, we have a free trial class. Your child can experience taekwondo before committing. How do I sign up? You can sign up online, blah, blah, blah. And if this is the offer, a free trial class, I would be mentioning this up here as well. So, like inquire about your first free class today or a free trial class today. But I went through that, obviously for the courtesy of it and making sure that, the structure is good. And yeah, all this stuff is nice, and it shows that the business is a little bit more considerate, is, courteous. They understand what parents want. But hero section, reframing that how I've suggested, is going to make this a lot stronger. Gets to the point a lot quicker, going to keep people engaged and do the job it should be doing. All right, but decent. Like that's not a bad page for service page, a local business service page copy. The main thing it's missing is just some kind of fundamental, useful tidbits for doing any kind of local service, which should be at the top. Oh, all right. Hey there, Alex. They've given me an essay to look at. Hey Alex, I hope you're having a lovely day so far. Thank you, whoever this is. I can't remember whose this was. I hope you're having a good day as well. This is one of the emails I recently wrote for a campaign that was sent out to a list of over 2,000 people. The goal of this campaign was to direct leads to a submission form and encourage them to join a program. I ran the campaign daily for 8 days, with the exception of the last day, during which I sent out 3 emails. This particular email was sent near the deadline. Naturally, I prioritize sending stronger, more persuasive emails close to the deadline to convince skeptics. Most of the other emails, like this one, this particular email, most of the other emails like this one. Wait, is in like this one? I'll work it out. Followed a similar structure: story, lessons, call to action. The program is called Gym Fundamentals, a 4-week program that guarantees participants will come out feeling confident, training in the weight room. They'll know exactly what exercises they need to do, how to perform each one safely, and how to progress further even after the course. Okay. If not, they get 100% money there. Question on Mac. Bottom line, I didn't have to do the selling because there was a closer responsible for that. My job was simply generate a forward the leads. Unfortunately, I failed to meet the KPI, hitting about 70% of the target. So I lost the job. Naturally, I've been reflecting on what I could have done better, but for this email specifically, I couldn't identify what was lacking. I'd really appreciate your input. Okay, so you're pushing them from an email to a submission form to get on a call, I'm guessing. Hopefully the email will make it clear. Beginners at the gym who want to move beyond the treadmill and start weight training but feel intimidated or unsure because they don't know where to start. This program is for them. Main idea, the gym can be intimidating and even dangerous, especially if you don't know what you're doing. This program will help eliminate this. Okay, fine. So this is towards the end of the thing, right? And you're saying this email in particular underperformed and you can't work out why. Subject line, crash, clank, clank, clanked. Now, I know you're going with heavy intrigue on this subject line, but I'm telling you it straight. This is a shit subject line. If I got this in my email, I would either just delete it because I'm like, I can't be bothered, especially if you've been messaging them every day for 7 days, right? And it's getting near the deadline. If this is near the deadline, this email, so I've probably already read at least one email, and I see an email that's just crash, clank, clank, clanked, I'm just going to delete it because it's like there's nothing useful there for me. I know who this is from. I know what it's going to be about. It's going to be about this fucking thing they want me to sign up to, which I don't want to do, or I'm not bothered about. I don't have a reason to, and they've just sent me a subject line that says crash, clank, clank, clanked. Delete immediately. Or if I haven't seen any of the other emails for some reason, and I get this email, I'm like, okay, what the hell is this? And I decide, okay, I'm going to open it. And then it's, here's a tale of a simple plan gone hilariously wrong and how the best... I don't know what this is. Okay, delete. How is this useful to me? You have said that the reader is a beginner at the gym who wants to move beyond the treadmill and start weightlifting, okay? Wants to do that. Wants to start training, like weight training. If you know that this is the person you're talking to, why, especially towards the end of your campaign, are you worrying about trying to lead with this kind of almost like value email type story instead of just saying, hey, this is what I want to teach you about? Why not give them an actual tip in this email to keep them reading? Why not put, again, I don't know what the other subject lines of the other emails were, but why not put like the easiest way to start weightlifting 2025? You could even put updated in parentheses to make it a little bit more intriguing. At least then I'm like, oh, well, I want to start weightlifting in 2025. Huh. And then your SSL, sub-subject line, here's the tale of a simple plan gone hilariously wrong and how even the best intentions lead to chaos and a bruised ego. The sub-subject line could be something like, includes 3 tips for starting, 3 tips for bench press, deadlift, and something else, right? You could say that. So then, well, it's even more useful for me to start because I know I'm going to get specific tips in this email. That gives me a reason to read. Right now, this doesn't give me a reason to read. So when you sit there and again, I'm very sorry you lost the job. This is going to help you do better next time, okay? If you actually decide to think about what someone wants to read in an email instead of just how can I stick to a particular formula, or you even put here I was trying to do story, lesson tips, call to action. You're trying too hard to stick to a formula. Fuck the formula and just think in your head, what do people actually want to read in an email about weightlifting? If I know this about them, what do they want to see? Okay, that's going to be far, far better for you to write about. So already, without even reading the full copy, I can tell you that's why this didn't work immediately. Because I don't know what the open rates and stuff were, but I guarantee if you would have done, again, you can never guarantee in marketing, but I can almost guarantee if you went with something that was useful to them, especially this late on, that's going to be far better for them than just vagueness. Here's the tail. So this is the start and this is the SSL as well. Okay, right. Last week, during a discussion about the gym fundamentals program, one of our employees, Jason, suddenly shared a rather embarrassing gym story that gave us all, and probably you too, a good laugh. And I'm gonna be mean, and this is what we promised to do in Whetstone Wednesdays, to tear you guys apart with this. Why do I care about your friend Jason telling a story? If I'm doing a story email, okay, then you need to start at the point of action, okay, the point of highest tension, the embarrassing thing that's just happened, the crazy statement, the active kind of scene that's going on. Imagine, I don't even know what the story is right now, but imagine instead if this started with the whole gym turned to me in horror. I couldn't believe what I'd just done. How much more intriguing is that immediately without having to say, hey, our friend told a really funny story. You're going to get a good laugh out of it too. Imagine starting with that and just being like, oh, fucking hell, what happened? That is the difference between telling someone you're going to do something interesting and actually doing something interesting. E.g., show, versus tell, okay? As with most good stories, there's a little lesson here too. Take it away, Jason. All of this is complete fluff. Even if you are going for the story email thing, which again, I wouldn't recommend at this stage because this is meant to be later on, so I would give them actionable tips that are useful or be extremely direct saying, look, this offer's going to end pretty soon. Those are the two things I'd be doing towards the end. But even if you decided to go for a story email, this is not how to tell a story because you're not giving me any reason to hold on to anything. Let's read this. Having said that, let's read the story. I was having a solid session, feeling like a champ in the squat rack. I had just crunched my squats with 3 plates on each side and was ready to move on to some Romanian deadlift. Now, I don't know, exactly who this person you're writing for is. You've put up here that they want to start weight training. Do they know what? Now, I know this might sound obvious to you because you obviously know about weight training. You've been, researching it for this product. Do they know exactly what, 3 plates on each side means? Do they know what a Romanian deadlift is? Are they familiar with, squat rack? Now, maybe they are. And you might go, that's obvious, but not to everyone, especially if they're not into weightlifting yet and they're like, oh, I'd really love to, but I'm intimidated by it. Why would you then start with something that sounds super fucking intimidating? Because it's like, oh, God, that's a lot of stuff I need to learn or know about. Ugh. There's just this cognitive dissonance here in this email of who you're trying to write to, okay? It doesn't feel like a relatable story so far. The bar was sitting nice and high on the rack, already loaded with the weight I needed, and I had an incredible idea. Instead of unloading the plates, moving the bar to the floor, and reloading everything, time-consuming chores, I thought, why not save my energy and just squat the bar to the floor? It sounded brilliant, efficient, genius. Again, this is what I mean. I have no reference point for this because I'm not lifting weights yet. I'm currently just in the gym running and stuff, as you've pointed out. So I don't know anything about any of this. There's nothing here for me to relate to as a story. Sounds like a good plan, right? Wrong. Halfway down, I stepped too far backward, and one side of the bar missed the rack. Suddenly, the bar tilted, I lost balance, and crash, clank, clank, clanked. The bar came down hard. It hit the ground behind me with a deafening clank that echoed across the gym, making sure everyone within a 5-kilometer radius knew I'd failed spectacularly. Now, I'm obviously giving you a different way of doing this and approaching this. However, imagine if you deleted all of this, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. These 8 lines and paragraphs. And you just edited this line slightly, which was, I just started weightlifting. I know obviously it's someone who'd been weightlifting for a while, but you could either change your story or you could, make this make sense. But I just started weightlifting and I thought I'd try and be clever. I decided I'd put the bar down quicker than ever before to make it easier for myself or whatever. Suddenly the bar tilted, lost balance, and crash, clank, clanked. That at least feels far more relevant to me because it's what I'm worried about happening. If you really want to go that way and talk and turn this into a lesson about, okay, this is where I know actually what I need to do now. and it starts at the point of action, and nothing has been lost from this copy. So even the people who did decide they wanted to read a story, even the people who were brought in by this subject line, there would be so much more grateful to you if you started here instead of having to trawl through these 8 lines of basically irrelevant fluff to get to anything that means anything to me. So that's another way of looking at this. The bar came down hard. It hit the ground behind me with a deafening clank. They echoed across the gym, making sure everyone within a 5K radius knew I'd failed spectacularly. I ended up flat on my butt with a Charlie horse on my left cheek. I don't know what that is. Again, to be honest, I'm probably the kind of demographic you want to be aiming at with an email like this, because I go to the gym and I've kind of just started like weightlifting somewhat. After years of kind of going, I can't be bothered, or like, it's a bit intimidating, I don't really want to start, I don't really know what I'm doing. So I'm the kind of person that this would be targeted at. And I don't know what a Romanian deadlift is, and I don't know what a Charlie horse, I don't even know, I mean, that might not be anything to do with weights, that might be just another term I've never heard, but I don't know what that is. Like, I don't feel that I can relate to this story. This isn't making me want to do weightlifting or feel like, oh God, feel like I'm kind of part of this narrative. Truly a fuck around and find out moment. Although this story is pretty funny, it also highlights serious human... Okay, I'm going to say something else here. And I really hope this doesn't sound like I'm dunking on you too much. But like, this wasn't funny. This isn't funny. This is not humor. This is someone falling over. If you've promised humor and said it's a really funny story, and the humor is someone fell over in a gym, then you need to reassess what you think funny is. Because if I was reading this and that was the point of humor where I was meant to go, oh yeah, that was a funny story, I would just click out of the email just out of principle and just be like, okay, well, this is just stupid. Humor is hard to do right regularly, and it's hard to do right in copy. So you've got to be damn sure that you are going to be saying something naturally, organically funny if you've promised humor. This wasn't. The traveling alien trip check says a Charlie horse is a common term for a muscle cramp, a sudden and involuntary contraction of a muscle that can cause intense pain. Thank you, Google search and or ChatGPT. But there we go. I've never heard of that, and I'm probably the target audience for this. So I'm just left like, what does that mean? But you might have picked up through your research because you're researching that arena. But the people who are actually going to be, oh yeah, I might be interested in getting into weightlifting, don't know what that is yet, because guess what? They haven't had many muscle cramps because they don't do weightlifting. Although this story is pretty funny, it also highlights a serious gym injury. Thankfully, Jason wasn't hurt in the process, but imagine if he was, 140 kg of pure cast iron crashing down his body. Oof, that's painful to even think about. And honestly, we see this kind of thing happen all the time at the gym. People load up too much weight on a bar and end up raw dogging it without a spotter or any safety precautions in place. Or they attempt fancy moves like with lifting weights while balancing on an unstable surface for extra effort key, which often ends in a wobble or fall or worse. Now, this lesson that you're kind of going into, like, it's not a bad lesson, and it is relevant. It is something that I worried about before I started lifting weights. Like, well, fucking hell, what if I drop them or fall over using them because I don't really know how to do it. So imagine instead if you started this email just something like, it can be as like on the nose as like worried about dropping the weights ? Right? Or it can be, never fall with a barbell. Like, or how to never fail with a barbell, or something like that, where at least then you're promising usefulness earlier on, and none of those are particularly fantastic subject lines, but you're promising something useful earlier on to me, going, oh, well, that is relevant actually, because I want to make sure I never make a fool of myself, Most of the times the intention behind these mistakes are good, like Jason said at the same time. People don't do these things because they want to get injured. They simply don't know enough about the consequences. Sometimes people make it out completely fine, like Jason, and learn from their mistakes. Other times the mistakes result in injuries and leave them unable to train for a few months. Now, is it the end of the world? No, but it's definitely not the most optimal way to train. And there's a few sentences that I'm just noticing. It's just fluff. What is that adding? What is this sentence adding to the copy? Now, is it the end of the world? No. What does that add to the copy? Either I already know it's not the end of the world, in which case you don't need to say this, or I think it is the end of the world, in which case this becomes even more interesting to me because I'm like, God, I really want to avoid this. So what's the point of that? So our 2 cents is do whatever you want in the gym, but always stop and ask yourself first, what could possibly happen? Your 2 cents is do whatever you want in the gym. Coming from the people who want to teach me how to do weightlifting properly. That should not be your 2 cents. I need to be able to trust you, and you need to be able to tell me exactly what to do because I'm nervous about this shit happening to me. Like I said, you can start with this kind of promise of like, don't be that guy in the gym, or like never drop weights, or the correct form for any weightlifting, or how to get started without falling over, anything like that. And then bring it into this very, very short story if you want to have one, which I don't even think you need. But then bring it into, this is how to never like fall with weights or trip up with them. We understand the like pain. I remember when I first started lifting, I was worried that I would trip over and everyone would laugh at me. So I found the perfect like method to make sure that never happens. It's easier than you think. I'm going to reveal it in this email. Let me read on. See? Or better yet, equip yourself with the proper knowledge up front so you know exactly what to do and how to avoid rookie mistakes like Jason. Again, well, why say this then? Just tell me what to do. You need to be the authority here. You need to be telling it to me straight. If the latter sounds like the smarter option to you, check out our Gym Fundamentals program designed by our lovely Ben Thompson and Josh Dryden just for you. I don't give a shit about how lovely Ben and Josh are. Okay? Like, this is what I mean about every single line in copy is super important. And I've already gone through a bunch of value edits and even function edits here that you can go and apply. But even when we get down to the line level of looking at what you're writing, look at, interrogate each of your lines and ask, do I need that to be there? Do these people give a shit about Ben and Josh? Or do they care about the thing that they're reading for? So why do I need to have a whole line about who it's been designed by? If you're going on to say, as you are, Ben, 17 years of experience, why not just stick that in one line up here? Like, this has been designed by expert weightlifter who specializes in getting newbies from never having held a weight to, bodybuilder level or whatever. 17 years of experience. That then makes more sense. Not only will you gain invaluable knowledge and insights from Ben's 17 years experience and expertise in the fitness industry, having helped both athletes and everyday individuals, including billionaire Abdul Aziz Al Ghurir, achieve their fitness goals, but we're also throwing in, again, like, fine, but do I give a shit that he's trained with a billionaire? Does that have any bearing on me? Like, no, I'm a beginner who wants to learn how to lift weights. I don't really care what the financial status of his other clients are like. I just want to know that he's specializing in getting beginners up to a good level in an easy method. 4 weeks free, unlimited access to Compound Gym, valued at $99.80, and then 1 free Fit 3D body scanner session valued at... But I don't... Check out our Gym Fundamentals program with no more context about what this is or why it's relevant to anything we've just talked about. You're just talking about Gym Fundamentals. Does this just cover what we've talked about weights? Is it for beginners? Is it for anyone? Is this the thing you're going to tell me about in a second? And also, what is the next page? I know you said it's a submission, but like, what is it? Is there a squeeze? Is it a squeeze page? Does it say anything else about the messaging? I don't know. So, and then you're going on to say, oh, you're getting all this invaluable insight, and then give me just 2 random bonuses, unlimited access to Compound Gym, whatever the fuck that means, and 1 free Fit 3D body scanner session, whatever the fuck that means. You're just throwing stuff in and not thinking about who is this for, what do they care about, what have I explained, and what is the next page going to be? Because you don't even need to sell necessarily on this email. You just need to send the submission form. But if you know that the submission form is quite bare and you do need to push a bit more and sell a bit more in this email, for the person to then get in contact with them and close them, focus on the one thing they care about. Stick to the rule of one, which is beginning weightlifting. I don't care about unlimited access to this gym and a free 3D body scanner. Let the closer talk about that stuff. Go, if you sign up today, we can also give you this thing, and here's why they're good for you, instead of just mention them at the end. The submission deadline for this program is Thursday. Okay, a bit of urgency, but again, the urgency is falling on deaf ears because most people haven't even got down to this point, and 2, like, you've not really linked it to the important thing and explained what that important thing is and why I should want it. So if you want to join the program or learn more, fill out this form. Compound Gym. PS, here's a sneak peek of what you'll get throughout the 4 weeks. And then a massive PS. The 7 movement patterns that every human being... Okay, so these are just bullets now at this point, which, again, have them on the squeeze page, have them on the submission page. So they are just extra bits of, oh man, yeah, I really want to do this now. Like, focus this email around one offer, one specific thing, one idea that you really want to get across. Click to the other page, link to the other page, and then on the other page have all the bullets and the things to really get them to submit. Okay, you don't need to do everything in this email. Let's have a look at a couple of these bullets. I'm not going to look at all of them. I'm going to look at 3. The 7 movement patterns that every human being, athletes or not, must train. Back in 2017, Tiger Woods, arguably the greatest golfer in human history, underwent a spinal function surgery due to his chronic back pain and sciatica. During his rehab, he exploited 3 of these movement patterns and went out on to win the 2018 Tour Championship and the 2019 Masters. Secret reveal in week 1. Breathe. Way too much going on in that bullet. Shrink it way down into the one point that you want to make. You're already, from the get-go, okay, the 7 movement patterns, fine, what's a movement pattern? I don't know what that means. So not necessarily relevant to me. Again, why is this relevant to weightlifting and me starting weightlifting? I have no idea. That every human being, athletes or not, why are we saying athletes or not? Why does that matter? Every human being should just be enough on its own, if that's what we want. And then this random kind of like anecdotal story, which is talking about Tiger Woods, who you have to explain who he is. If you have to explain who he is, then use someone else. Then you start talking about spinal surgery for some reason, which is nothing that's been talked about up here. And now you're mentioning that he had back pain and sciatica. It's like, but I don't have any of this. I just want to learn to lift weights. I don't want to talk about rehab and all this. I don't care about Tiger Woods. Just teach me how to lift weights. That's all I want. Master the technique for 27 major gym lifts, including bench press, squat, and deadlift, with near perfect form to maximize results and prevent injuries. That's better because that's a nice, simple bullet around, hey, you're going to learn how to do these things, which are things I clearly want to do because I want to start weightlifting. So that's better, just that on its own, for sure. Including how to properly feel your muscles while lifting, dozens of injuries. Why does that matter? Why do I need to properly feel my muscles while lifting? Dozens of injuries prevention tips. Okay, fine. But like this would, split these out into other bullets if you feel they're important. Okay, how hard? Because just condense it to one bullet. All right. I'll do 2 more, to be fair to you, because I know there's a lot there. A small but little known tweak that can instantly make an exercise harder without adding weight or reps. Why do I want to make an exercise harder? I don't know anything about weightlifting yet. Is that something I want? Because that doesn't sound like something I want, because that sounds hard. Or discover now. Oh shit! Whoops. Now, I'm not going to say I invented this bullet because other people may have done it before, but I had never seen it anywhere, and I've looked at a lot of different copy over the years, and I'd never seen bullets like that with like asterisked letters. But then I did it, and then I obviously talked about it in streams and stuff. So, unless anyone gets me evidence of that having been done pre like 2021 or whenever it was when I first did it, I'm just gonna say I invented that bullet and hope that no one ever gets evidence to the contrary. I'm sure I didn't. I'm sure it had been done before. Discover the only principle you need to master for achieving consistent training growth, so you'll never feel unmotivated in the gym ever again. Uncovered in weeks 2 and 3. So again, better. Like I like this gimmick in a bullet. Sometimes I prefer to like set it up a little bit first. Like, like the 2 words you need to know for mastering or for achieving consistent growth as a beginner. So you never feel unmotivated in the gym again, right? I think you're trying to mush 2 ideas there together, which is achieving consistent growth and feeling unmotivated. Those are 2 separate points. Split them out into separate bullets. Okay. So I spent a lot longer on that one than I planned to, but I'm probably gonna clip this and put it onto Copy That second channel, because I think this is a really important lesson, like this one, on just kind of thinking not formula first, but thinking reader first and offer first, and how you link those 2 things together. And then thinking about not just writing a particular way, like writing a story for the sake of writing a story, cutting fluff, looking at what actually matters to the person who's reading, getting through to the offer and letting the next part of the funnel do its job as well, so you know what's coming afterwards, not just what's come before. And then also a tiny little lesson on bullets. So we'll probably clip this one. Anyway, what have we got? Google AI. I mean, I knew that was, but didn't know how to articulate it. Number one mistake new weightlifters make and injure themselves in the process. I mean, just saying, again, like that has the makings of a good subject line. Just saying, the number one mistake new weightlifters make. There you go. That's a subject line that's like, oh well, I want to see what that is, and then get straight to it. Teach the lesson in the email. Tease that there's a lot more to know. Link to the squeeze page. Bob's your uncle. I ask myself, does this really matter? Why relevant after every single line? Because I overthink a lot. But the point is, if I can't ask myself properly, it's just fluff. Then get rid of it. Yeah, Martin, like exactly. You know, one of the tests I always talk about is the so what and prove it test, or SWAPy, which is just asking yourself, so what? Like, why does this matter? You know, so. And if you can't answer that succinctly with a good reason related to the rest of the copy, then cut it. Specific question for Alex. I watched your lead video on your personal YouTube channel, but found that a lot of the e-com businesses from store leads already send copywritten emails. How do I pitch to them? Well, I mean, you can like create better emails, get better than the copywriters they're using, or focus on another area like product pages or different kinds of email sequences, or look at their Facebook ad libraries or their Google ad libraries or anything else, or look at other stores. How would you recommend this person gets better at writing copy? Plot what you're going to write, not based around a formula. Like, ask yourself the context of who this is going to, what they care about, why they would even want to read an email from you, and just think, okay, am I being relevant to this person? Plot it out, like really plan it, and then ask yourself for every line and for every section, is this needed? Is this actually furthering what I want the person to do? Is this actually helping me to connect with what I know about them? Ask more questions, you know, kind of like Martin said, you know, ask those questions and you will get better. Because then all I did in this, I didn't come into this with just kind of some ethereal copy knowledge and go, oh, I'm writing. I instead asked questions all throughout this. Said, okay, well, would this person care about this? Does this need to be said? Is this being relevant? Does this make sense? Are we linking to the offer? I was just asking questions. Ask more questions of your copy. Demand more from yourself. And I guarantee you would have smashed, again, can never guarantee, but I predict that you would have smashed that KPI and you would still be working for this business. And they'd probably be like, oh my God, we need to get this guy back again and again and again and again. I never usually do this during Whetstone Wednesday, but to the people watching this right now, was that helpful? Like that lesson that I just did? Because at points I felt like I was dunking too much and I kind of turned on my like Mark Ford-esque, like just tell it how it is kind of attitude. So do you prefer me / the other guys going through copy like that and just kind of being like straight to the point, tearing it apart? Or would you prefer us to be a bit nicer? Because I am usually a bit kinder and a bit more considerate. And I really am, and I love you guys. Whoever wrote this, I love you too. I just want you to get better. But I feel like it's probably better to just, and more efficient to just go through it like this. Skylight says yes. Jessica says yes. You were spicy but very helpful. That I think that's a compliment. I'll take it, Jessica. Thank you. And then G-Man says have to rewatch it again, but yes. Okay. Well, as long as Sierra says yes, rip it to shreds. Fair enough. Okay, good. Well, I will keep that up more or less. All right. Welcome sequence. Hi, Alex. This is a welcome sequence, potential client. Oh, by the way, and for the person before as well, thank you for giving context at the top of your copy. It really helps. I really appreciate it. So thank you for giving context. It allows me to give a much better critique, which is why that one lasted a bit longer, because I was actually able to talk about the context and what you need to be thinking about. So thank you very much for that. Joel says, I say play it like you're the prospect. That's always how I try and read things, regardless. Even if I'm not reading out loud like that, just in my head, I'm just thinking, okay, what if I was the person this was aimed for? Reaper says, hey, Alex, how would you ramp up the perceived value of a commodity? Let's say you sell footballs. How would you do that? Dude, that is such a massive question, and it completely depends on what you're working with, who you're working with, but how you're advertising it in the first place. Like if you get to pick the strategy that you're using. For example, for footballs, you could easily like say, well, these are limited edition. Have they been sanctioned by anyone? Are they Barcelona footballs? Are they one that Messi uses like for training? Any of that kind of stuff. You could simply attach it to a larger offer, and then show that like it's actually worth way more as part of this larger offer, but you're selling them individually for like cheaper, for example, or vice versa. Like perceived value can come from so many different things. Like that can come from the perceived USP of something, like why it might be better, e.g. this one uses a particular material, so it's better for AstroTurf, for example. Like you could have a football, and of course you could use it anywhere, but if you say this is particularly fantastic on AstroTurf, you can jump up the price, and then anyone who's going to buy a football who might be typing in AstroTurf or AstroTurf supplies or whatever, you can advertise to them, and even though it might be more expensive than normal football they would have, which is for anywhere, they might go, oh, but this is really good for AstroTurf. And obviously you can give some reasons why that might be, because the material makes skill training easier. Boom, perceived value has just shot up, and you can charge more for it. Okay, I'll get to the next question in a minute. Let me read this first. This is a welcome sequence for a potential client who connects local New Yorkers with visitors. I also need to go in 1 hour and 5 minutes, so I need to hurry up with these. This is a welcome sequence for a potential client who connects local New Yorkers with visitors wanting custom-made itineraries. Okay, interesting. The sequence comes after a lead has downloaded a fun quiz that tells them their New York City travel style. It's also meant to introduce the reader to the newsletter. 3 emails are delivered, one daily for 3 days, before the lead goes to the general list for the newsletter. Looking for feedback on the first 2 emails. I also wanted to ask, my subject lines are always so. What do you think of these? Thanks a lot, Rashida. Okay. So, interesting. So, from a quiz funnel about people who are going to be visiting New York. Subject line, your quiz results look good. We took a peek and New York City is perfect for you. All right, immediate feedback on this subject line. It's good that you're relating this to something that they're interested in, of course, because this will be immediately after they've filled out the quiz. However, I would be trying to build a little bit more intrigue in this as to why they should, like, open it. Now, the best thing is after a quiz, it's going to be one of the highest open rates for an emails you have because they want to get the results. So your quiz results look good. It's fine, but just saying like, I would just have like your quiz results, colon, for example, and then something along like, this is what we'd suggest, ... right? Like, or you might be surprised, ... Okay, just something to just build that intrigue a little bit more, so they're like, oh, there is actually a reason for me beyond just wanting to see my results to also see what they say, because there might be something I wasn't expecting in there. So that's like very slight, but the benefit you're going to have with this is like a quiz result open rate is going to be pretty high anyway. Your results are in. You go with New York City like pizza goes with beer. Image with superimposed text explaining the reader's quiz results. Fair enough. NYC is iconic, but it isn't too big to make the small, heartfelt dreams of visitors like you come true, whether you're a fearless foodie, culture connoisseur, art addict, excited explorer, or family concierge. All right. Immediate response to this, when being completely honest, because my assumption as a reader is going to be, oh, this is a like customized email for me because you have my results. But then you say, whether you're a X, Y, Z, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, it's like, well, you should know what I am. You've just set it up here. So why are you saying all this stuff? It makes me now think, oh, maybe this isn't very custom. Just a note. The Big Apple can give you memories you'll be talking about for the next 10 years. You just have to know where to uncover the local secrets and new happenings that can make your trip unforgettable. Welcome to Askonzu. Crafting New York City experiences is our specialty. We are locals who love New York City. Our weekly newsletter delivers the best New York City experiences to your inbox. You'll find local secrets, off-the-beaten track gems, and the newest, most shocking attractions inside. If the dizzying collection of things you can do on your New York City trip gets overwhelming and you want the help of a local expert, reach out to one of our experienced designers for a custom-made itinerary, but without the travel agent fees. Okay, so I'm guessing that these are the custom ones that can go up here, rather than... I assume these aren't just all in the email, is my assumption. All right, someone want to tell me about this. What is the offer? What are you actually trying to push people to? Is it to add something to a cart to like get an itinerary? Is it to submit a form to get an itinerary? Is it to call a number? Is it to send an email? This first email, right, is, like I said, it's going to have the most opens. This is where you have the best opportunity to actually get them to do what you want, because this is where they're going to be the most engaged. Do not waste this. Do not waste this by thinking this has to be a massive welcome sequence where you slowly warm them up to the idea of getting an itinerary. They have taken this quiz. That means they're either thinking about booking a trip to New York or they've already booked a trip to New York. That's not going to last forever, okay? They may even be going tomorrow and be like, oh, actually, yeah, let's do this now because we're going next week or we're going tomorrow or something. This email, where you know you're going to get the most eyes on it, is where you need to fucking front your offer and send people to the page where you want them to take action. This is the email you do it in. Do not waste time with vague, like, a massive paragraph talking about, like, oh, whether you're this or you're this, you're going to get loads of memories and it's great. No. This bit here is doing the thing, is fulfilling the promise you already made them, which is, here's what you are. Great. Now act on that. Give them an action immediately. Say, like, we think, like, this, based on all of our experience, like, this is what we recommend to have the best trip in New York. So next step, let's make this one like a trip to remember. Action, do action, and then obviously explain why they would want to do that action. Okay, I'm still a little bit confused on exactly what the offer you're pushing them to is. Like, I want to know a bit more. Like, what is it? Are you getting them to contact someone, for example? Here we go. Rashida said, click to go to the landing page where they can start the process of getting the itinerary. Okay, so that is what I want to send them to, like, immediately in this email after this bit's come up. Because right now you're kind of like giving them a bit of a paragraph and telling them about, we've got like a weekly newsletter and it's great and we can get all these attractions and stuff. You need to make this thing, this custom plan, sound very exciting and specific to them. So it might not be possible with the actual, email software you're using, but if you can do specific ones based on results, that's going to be better anyway. So it doesn't feel like you're just being thrown into the common lot. But 2, you need to give them a reason to click and have a look at the landing page. The best way to do that, relevance and intrigue, okay? Intrigue especially because you've said this is what your results are. Act on this immediately to be like, but there's something else we think would be even better for you. In fact, we'd love to talk to you about it. There's a few secrets that not many, like, that some New Yorkers don't even know about. If you're interested, it might be worth talking to us about a custom itinerary. Click below to find out more. That's all this email should be doing, okay? Getting them to click the next page. Then the landing page itself, that should be the thing that's selling, okay? This email should not be selling. It should be intriguing and being relevant to the thing you already know about them, which is this test result. Right now, these 2 paragraphs are just like, almost like, just, it's complete fluff to me. I don't really need this. I don't really care about this. I just want to have a fantastic New York vacation. There needs to be a reason for me to click to the next part of the funnel, which is going to be heavy intrigue, and then let the landing page do the selling, okay? Then in the next email, that's where you can be a bit more like direct, or you can go longer form email if you really want to see if that's more their style. But my point is, this email is where you're going to get the biggest engagement. So heavy intrigue and CTA quickly to let the landing page do the selling. Rashida, I see you're in the chat. So does that make sense, first of all, like what I'm saying there? And obviously if it doesn't, please tell me it doesn't, or please push back if you feel like it's, it just wouldn't be the thing that you guys are looking for. But I'm telling you that that's going to be the thing that works much better than this. Because ultimately you're kind of using a lot of the rules of 3 here, saying like, all these things have memories, dizzying collection of things, off the beaten track, crazy attractions. I don't necessarily care about all of these things. I just want an itinerary planned for me. I want a specific thing. So hit with a heavy intrigue to get into the landing page, which then convinces them to inquire about an itinerary. I will let you do that. I'm going to read one of these just to see what I think. So, fearless foodie, cheese dripping from a thin New York slice. Some people think food... Yeah, I had a good pizza there. I think I had... Was it Joe's, I think? That was nice. Some people think foodies are all about Instagram photos and gorgeous food. The truth is, finding the perfect meal gives real foodies a high only other foodies will understand. Whether your current obsession is finding the thinnest New York City slice, experiencing 24-karat encrusted gold burger, or devouring an authentic, doughy New York City bagel, our local experts can help you find your next delight. Which is fine. That's when the heavy intrigue comes, like, after that. I would personally, instead of just giving this kind of generic spiel, I would give specific attraction recommendations here, so it also feels useful. Just say 3 places you need to visit, like, just, it can be below this, so 3 places you need to visit are X, Y, Z, right? Plus, there are a few more we think would be perfect for you. In fact, not even New Yorkers know about them. Click below to find, like, to reveal, like, more, whatever, or to learn how we can, like, tell you about them. Or even just saying, but we don't trust these with everyone. So if you'd like to know a bit more, click below. Then it can go to that page where it starts selling the itinerary. It does. I'm just wondering about whether the software could personalize it so it went into all categories. Even if it can't, like, you can just keep it like this. So just one of these things comes up with the recommendation thing I've just recommended. So 1, 2, 3. And instead make this bit like more specific to that intrigue I was talking about, saying, you know, but there are even more attractions that not even New Yorkers know about we think might be worth it for you. But we don't reveal it with everyone, so if you'd like to know what else we recommend, click below, or what the next step we'd recommend, click below. Then send them to that itinerary landing page. So that's the way that I would go about it if you're not sure that itinerary can do it. The software can do it. Your NYC trip just got bigger and better and more delicious. I think, like, yeah, this is like a pretty nothingy subject line. Again, just think about usefulness. Like, that's the thing. Like I said with the last email, how can I make this subject line more useful for the person who's reading it? What do I care about if I'm going on a trip to New York? Seeing all the places, going to the places that no one goes, having a great, like, time. So I think intrigue heavy is going to be the way to go with these, like I suggested with the last one. I think it's going to be a case of saying stuff around one more recommendation for your New York trip, right? For example, and then actually in this email giving them a specific place. Like, it can even just be a generic thing, and then you can say it doesn't matter, like, why you want to go to New York. Like, forget what we said before. Regardless of why you're going, you should really go and check this out. Give them a specific piece of advice. Give them a specific recommendation for where to go. NYC is growing bigger in 2025. NYC is growing bigger and grander every year. No, not physically, but did you know the city that never sleeps opened 55 new attractions and restaurants between 24 and 25? And there's no sign it's slowing down. There's more. That's more for you to experience and enjoy. But who has time to comb through so much newness? That's why Asconsu exists. We're on a mission to help visitors experience everything iconic about NYC while showing them the hidden treasure zone locals get to enjoy. Experienced designers love planning itineraries to show the visitors the real New York. They know that icons like the Empire State Building, Central Park, blah, 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 are all also on most people's bucket list. So our questionnaire gives you space to tell us exactly how you want your vacation to feel. Start planning the itinerary. How it works: fill out a questionnaire, another step. Wait, so the landing page they go to, they then fill out another questionnaire? Is that right? Or is this trying to get them to... Because they've already filled out a questionnaire. Like, they've already filled out a quiz funnel, yeah? So you're getting them to do another questionnaire? Just clarify that, because I think going, like, straight to another questionnaire is it feels like a bit much, you know, if they've just filled out a quiz funnel. But in terms of this, again, like, I don't mind the idea here around, like, look, there's so much new stuff that you can't possibly just find it by Googling it. But that's where I would be a bit more specific, and I might drill down a little bit more, is talking about, like, you know, if you Google what to do in New York, hundreds of attractions come up. Forget that. Let us make it simple for you. Tell us what you want to see. Tell us what you're interested in. History, food, blah, 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 blah. And we will make sure you go to the right places. We know every attraction in New York because we've lived here for 20 years. And all we do is plan custom itineraries so you can have the trip of a lifetime. Simply Contact us using the form below. Tell us what you're interested in, and we will give you the perfect plan back. That's really specific. That's giving people a reason to use you because it's new and it's different outside of just kind of general fluff around, oh, there's hidden treasures and we want to show you the real New York and there's all these things. That's kind of fluffy and generic, and it could be said by anyone to anyone. Set yourself apart by saying that, like, it doesn't matter what you're into, we can actually do this for you. Give a very, very specific explanation of what you're going to do. Just try and condense these emails a bit to the things that really matter to the person. Think, how can I be useful? And how can I move them to the next step of the offer? Yeah, this one gives details on things like if the kids have food allergies, ages of kids, etc., just everything. Tell me that. Like, you just saying that now, Rashida, makes me think like, oh, well, that's actually quite useful. You know, like, do you have any food allergies? What would kids enjoy? Just say, like, you know, if you want to get the most out of your trip, but you're worried about, you know, finding places without, like, that cater to certain food allergies, having, you know, kids that do this thing, having this other thing, having this other thing, even frame it as, do any of the, like, are you worried about your New York trip for any of these reasons, ? A few questions. If you are, like, then let us plan it for you so you don't come across any disappointments. That's what I mean, just being a bit more direct, because you're allowed, you know, you've got the specificity with this stuff up here. Make it more useful with specific recommendations as well, and then push them to that page. And then you can do another one which is a bit more direct and explaining how the process works, why they would want to do it, reminding them why it's useful. That would be my suggestion for improving this welcome sequence, okay? And then even if, you know, you are sticking with the strategy of them filling out another questionnaire, it at least justifies me having to do that again, because this one's about, you know, like, very specific, you know, now let's start to build. You could even frame it like that. Now let's build your advanced itinerary. So, like, you know, we know what you want. We know you're a foodie. Now let's get specific. Send them to a specific landing page about the foodie itinerary, and then they can fill that out. So they feel even like they've gone even further down the funnel, or they just need to now pay you for something, right? Does that help, Rashida? Any more questions? Hopefully it does. I will give you a moment to say yes or no, and then I will move on. Because, like I said, I only have 50 minutes, and I need to get... I've been doing this for an hour and 10, and I've only got through 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I got 7 left. Look at that. Gross. Sean's burnt samosas. Yes, it does. Thank you. Right. Fantastic. Thank you very much, Rashida. Appreciate you submitting. All right. Outfigured homepage. Hi, Alex. I know you're in a hurry, so apologies to the content. Oh, thank you for apologizing. I appreciate that. There's a homepage copy plus a basic wireframe for plus-size women's underwear, bras, and shorts, specific sizes based in the UK. Ron K reviewed this first version, and feedback made me realize my copy was too general. My biggest mistake was basing that version on the sort of bland basic homepage examples I saw from many, many e-com brands. Yeah, I know it. Not a lot of persuasion power, which made sense to me back then, because you've said in previous streams, homepages aren't that big of a needle mover for conversions, but you've also said we need to focus on moving visitors to the next conversion point, product pages, and put our best foot forward to make a lasting first impression. So that's what I've tried to do here. I've tried to be way more specific with a focus on maximizing trust to get them to click through to the product pages where the main product details and unique features and benefits use case are revealed. I've also tried to use language phrasing the audience uses based on what they've said in reviews, both this brand and their competitors, and in forums. Other notes is a pretty skeptical audience because they found it ridiculously hard to find the right underwear for their size and about a ton of money in the process. The top nav bar is from their actual site. When I open my wireframe, it looks kind of wonky. Don't know why. It was fine on Rod's screen. You can ignore if it looks weird at your end too. Visitors get the page organically. Below is the brief I got from my client if you want to have a look. He's already improved the copy, but I'm looking to improve. Client brief. This is what we want to get across on our homepage. We know women struggle to find comfortable and practical underwear in plus sizes. There are very limited options, and the options that are available are either not true to size, poor quality, or expensive. That's why Outfigured, we have figured out a way to provide exceptional plus sizes underwear that looks and feels good without breaking the bank. Brands that usually advertise as plus size, their sizes are not accurate, and they're not in reality plus size. Product comfort, fit, and value. The items we sell are not random items. They have been carefully designed and created to address specific pain points. All the products that we sell, that we launch, will address specific pain points. Plus size women of sizes 40 to 28 will solve these by providing exceptional quality. Okay. Wireframe. Canva. Ooh, okay. Right. So, for plus-size women, UK size 14-28, tired of wasting money on ill-fitting, non-durable, expensive underwear. All right, well, Nice call out. I like the eyebrow. Fairly priced bras and shorts, truly true to your size. Super comfy, outlast high street brands, tested on and trusted by hundreds of plus size women like you. For the first time online, the item really is UK plus size and fit. I love them. The material is so comfortable and great quality, perfect fit, and the size is exactly as ordered. Excellent fit for the larger ladies, very comfortable, great value for money. Free delivery across the UK, 60-day money back guarantee, explore bras, explore shorts, the outfigure difference. Okay, dude, or dudette, whoever's writing this, or other. Decent hero section, okay? Like, when I talk about homepages, I just say, message match to what people are expecting, and be relevant to the points that you already know they worry about. Yeah, like you could probably run a slightly line edited version of this headline, to be honest. Like I don't know if I like truly true to your size exactly, but it's ultimately the message you're getting across rather than the words you're saying. Fairly priced bras and shorts, truly true to your size. Great. You've specifically said it's for women between this size and this size. You've got an image of aspirational people from the target audience, okay, that proves like what you're talking about. It's decent. There's not a tons and tons I would change about this, to be completely honest, right? I would probably add image-based testimonials and like some, if, you know, it obviously depends on the tech team's capabilities, but video/image-based testimonials like on a kind of carousel or something like that, just to show that loads of people are happy with it. Again, I don't know what's on the top bar here. Some additional like either Trustpilot reviews or some stars or something like that, just to show that there's loads of great stuff. Obviously, I assume you would have categories up on the top bar. Then free delivery across the UK, 6-day money back guarantee. Yep, fine. Some basic CTAs to go to the two places that I'm interested in. Yep. There's not loads else I would do here, to be honest. I would completely A/B test this against a completely different homepage with a fully different style, that was perhaps just like one kind of big image with like, you know, just the top two categories immediately with like a single headline. I might like A/B test that, but I think that in terms of like the actual message you're getting across, I think this works absolutely fine. The hero section. The outfigure difference. The outfigure team is forever focused on the 3 non-negotiable qualities of all plus-size underwear. Softness, stretchiness, support. Here's how we ensure all three plus get rid of everything you hate. I don't understand that. Get rid of everything you hate in other brands you've tried before, e.g. chafing, riding up, bunching, pinching, rolling, etc. High quality materials, finely balanced, test and improve repeatedly, priced fairly, collections. I would say my biggest critique of the page is probably that it's slightly messy. Now, this is in Canva and it's wireframe, so of course it's not like, you know, finished, but like I would say that I would really section these out a little bit more, and I would have the subheads do a lot more work here. One of the big objections is obviously going to be price as well, and I would probably be attacking that a bit more in a subhead in its own section, you know, just saying like you can even just be like, you know, down with big brands, you know, something like that, or how big brands scam you, you know, something super like aggressive and combative, like something that's really points out the fact that, you know, you are really taking a stand against like things that are just mega expensive. You know, you guys deserve to afford it, but not at the point of poorer quality, which then builds a narrative for the homepage. You start with like how big prices are ridiculous. You then move down to, but we're not sacrificing quality. This is how it's made. And, you know, I mean, for the love of God, please get rid of the center, the center, what do you call it? Thingying. You know what I mean? I'm tired. Please make this, a line. That's it. Please left align this. You know, like this is fine. Like you're talking about how to make it. Again, I'm not even particularly bothered about the lines of copy because this is the subheads are going to be doing more work here for you. Just give a truthful explanation of just give a truthful explanation of what the process is like. High quality materials, finely balanced. Like, yeah, again, subhead doesn't really mean anything to me. Give me something specific to grab onto. Like, why is it high quality? what are the things that people like worry about with it, and just put that here. You know, you've got IVOC data here that you can be using, right? You could, like, instead of high quality materials, five balance, just put like very comfortable for the larger lady. Boom, there you go. That's a subhead that you've got right there, and then talk about why it's comfortable, how you make it, what the proof that goes into that is. Again, then the narrative goes from like high price to but not scrounging on quality, like why it's so comfortable, and then into proved and tested and improved by you. You know, test and improved by you, not repeatedly. I say it, test and improved by you. You know, we listen to actual feedback. We get what you want. Like, this is why we have so many, and then show a community, show a bunch of testimonials of people. That's why we have so many people who love our stuff. It's like, so explore bras, explore shorts. There you go. You got three very, very then distinct sections of price, comfort / quality, and then like improvement and community. Three big sections which align with the research, with align with the objections that you're going to get, sectioned out with proof attached to them all, and then that directs to, right, explore now. But again, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. I think this is pretty good. I think mainly you just need to think about how you section out your copy a bit more, and like be a bit more objective and mission based with each section of what it's really trying to do. So when people are scrolling, they're like, yep, I understand that. Like, that's what I want. But yeah, pretty good. I like it. Hi, Alex. In this copy practice, again, I just want to say, guys, the context is awesome. Thank you so much for giving context. Like, in the early days, no one gave context. So thank you for giving context. It makes my life so much easier. Shah says, thank you, Alex. Super, super helpful. I'll work on improving the sections. Shah, good job. I liked it. It was good copy. If a copywriter came back to me with that, like, I'd be pretty happy. Like, I'd give the same feedback. I'd go a bit more in depth with certain things and sit through things, but I'd be pretty happy. I'd go like, yep, this is cool. So good job. Hi, Alex. In this copy practice, I'm selling Matthew Paulson's book, Automatic Income, to beginners who are starting to be interested in dividend stocks to finance their retirement. They landed on this page with an email sent earlier. I think that's all the context. Enjoy reading. Okay, interesting. Written by MarketBeat CEO. Get your free book and learn how to fund your retirement with the hidden power of dividend stocks. Okay. So, get your free book is the offer, effectively, and learn how to fund your retirement with the hidden power of dividend stocks. Let me keep reading before I give any feedback. I'd like to rush you one of my 2,000 copies of my book, Automatic Income, plus some bonuses for free. Inside, you'll discover the basics of stock investing. You'll discover the true nature of stocks to use their hidden potential, the boring secrets of insiders to earn 1.6 times more than others by buying exactly the same stock at the same price, why buying stock in a company everyone hates is actually a good idea, and much more. Okay, now this is effectively between an offer and a promise lead, okay? Like, you're stating the offer and you are stating effectively a promise about what you're going to be delivering on this. So very, very direct. This is kind of slight guru based with almost like sales letter light, to give you a free book, and you're starting up here with a very, very direct offer about getting the free book. Here's something I'd recommend for this immediately. I would at least A/B test what you've got here against a single, very short squeeze page, which just has bullets, okay? Just has a short lead and then bullets. Now, is this a free plus shipping offer? Is this for the physical book? So for a payment of just $376, I was saying, okay, fair enough. To be fair, for a second there, I thought it was just a digital ebook, but it makes sense because you did say copies at the top. So my bad. What I was going to say, if this was a digital book, I would say just test it against like a very, very short squeeze page just with some bullets. And I feel like that may even perform better because it would be far more condensed and focused. But this is a free plus shipping offer, so I will judge it as such. This should not be the focus of your headline. This should be the focus of your headline, first of all. So quick function edit there, like get anything starting with get your free book. I know you're saying it's coming from an email that was sent earlier. I'd need to see the email. I'd need to see if it was just a lift email, if it was built up into kind of a partial sales email, if it already explained the offer. Because if it already explained the offer, then yeah, it might make more sense to start with this. But again, it'd be nice to have that context. But ultimately, if you know they're interested in automatic, saving through stocks and generating passive income, then that's the big headline that I would lead with, not get your free book, or at least kind of combine these two things into a really a really simple gimmick I've seen work for these kind of pages, these kind of offers, is like a gifting gimmick, where it's like, my free gift to you, like how to fund your retirement with the hidden powers of dividend stocks. That at least gives it a bit more, like, it's not just a salesy offer, because this smacks right now of heavy sales, like heavy sales. You can soften that and make it feel far more like you're building a relationship, and it's a bit more authentic. Get your free book with an exclamation point, and you're getting all this stuff for free, and there's loads of bonuses. Smacks of, very old school, very like, I don't like this. I feel like there's ulterior motives here. Whereas my free gift to you, learn how to fund your retirement with the hidden power of dividend stocks, just like I did. And then imagine if it was just, instead of, I'd like to rush you one of my 2,000 copies of my book, Automatic Income, and some bonuses, imagine if it was, I'm currently sat on 2,000 copies of my like best-selling book or whatever, Automatic Income. To celebrate my retirement, or like my second retirement or something, give a reason to it, I'd like to ship all these copies out to people like you for free, or to people for free. I'd like you to have one. You see how much that changes the kind of vibe of this sales page. All of a sudden, it becomes far more like, oh shit, I feel almost grateful for this. Not like, oh, this is a sales fucking bastard trying to push something on me. All of a sudden, this becomes, the urgency is still there, and the offer still is direct, which is absolutely fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with running kind of offer lead for this. But it's now far more subtle and respectful and trustworthy, which makes me feel far better about it. Inside, you'll discover these bullets are pretty weak, I would say. Go and read the Clayton Makepeace's Screaming Eagle issue on bullets and pick out 3 of them. Like, I think like this is kind of okay. There's like decent ideas here. That one's too boring. That's kind of implied by the title of the book and what you're saying anyway, so I would definitely move that. These need to be more interesting and gripping and intriguing. You learn that by practicing bullets. There's a good idea here, the boring secret of insiders to earn 1.6 times more than others, even though you buy the exact same stock at the exact same time or price. Something interesting there, but again, just turn it into a proven bullet formula. And why buying stock in a company everyone hates is actually a good idea. Like, yeah, okay, but it's kind of like you're almost giving away the farm with that bullet. You're almost telling me like, oh, I should just buy stocks in companies everyone hates. Instead, imagine if it said something like, the love-hate test, to immediately tell, or to immediately whatever, if a company is worth investing in. Like, this may shock you. Page 59. Far more intriguing. I'm like, oh, the love-hate test. I now don't know what that is, but I'm super intrigued because now I want to know, because it's something I'm interested in. Another immediate objection that comes up to this is, okay, I'm a newbie, and you're saying this is for newbies and for beginners. Fantastic. But how do you walk me through the process? How do I feel at ease with this and safe with it? And that's something I would fold into this, to this hero section. Just talk about how this is for beginners. And as part of the celebration, as part of the me kind of, celebrating, or to mark my retirement or whatever, I'm helping beginners get into this and do exactly what I've done. So I want to give this away for free. Just by changing that, to changing this to a bit more subtle, to giving a justifiable reason for me doing this thing, and to relating it to the kind of person I am, which is a beginner who's looking to get into investing, plus obviously, adding some better intrigue through bullets. Do you see how much better that comes across, and how much more interesting, and how much more likely I am to actually kind of read through with this? Okay, now I want to read. Dear readers, look at the incredible results of these investors. Boom, boom, boom. That's as much as dividend stocks can earn, and those results aren't particularly incredible. That's as much as dividend stocks can earn. That doesn't make sense, because that makes it sound like that's as much as they can earn, as in they can't go any higher. But then you say those results aren't particularly incredible. Doesn't make sense. Many of these people left jobs to retire early or took less stressful part-time jobs while waiting for retirement, yet they are not financial experts or the heirs of a wealthy family. No, in fact, they are ordinary people just like you. All they had to do was buy good stocks and use a few tricks to build a stock portfolio that performed strangely well compared to the rest of the market. Okay, like I'm liking this more. So if you're looking for a safe and profitable investment strategy, now if Sean was reviewing this, he would say you need to like be very careful with claims like that. If you're looking for a safe and profitable investment strategy, is implying that you're about to hear one, which you can't guarantee. So that's something a legal team would look at and go like, whoa, whoa, whoa. No, you can't say that. Because I'm going to tell you exactly how to do it. My name is Matthew Paulson. If you know me already, you should know that I've been searching for 6 years for an investment strategy that I could unconditionally recommend to the 3 million subscribers of my daily newsletter. I evaluated all proven investment strategies and all new financial assets. All the portfolios I looked at either performed poorly or only performed well under certain conditions. There feels like a bit of a disconnect between this lead and like this kind of guru introduction now, because this kind of makes it sound like, you know, you're starting with the offer and you're almost revealing what the offer is. Like, it's this book, it's the automatic income thing. But now you're kind of like walking back through the years, just saying like, oh, like I've been trying to search for this thing, and you know, if you know me already, you'll know I did this, and I've discovered all these investment strategies and all this stuff. And it's just kind of clashing with like, well, this was meant to be kind of a direct kind of offer lead. So I'm expecting you to reveal the system, but you're kind of just building up with a bunch of fluff about how you kind of got to the system, I guess. So I would maybe cut this down slightly. Like, again, this is fine, but I would relate this back to the book immediately because you've already revealed the book. If you're sticking with an offer lead, then get to the crux of the offer pretty damn quickly. For the offer to be upfront in the headline, is the customer already in most aware spectrum? I mean, not necessarily like most aware, but they're certainly, you know, product like solution or product aware at the very least, because like they have to know about other things, or they have to know about your product already for you to then go, hey, here's this big solution for you. Here's this specific offer for you. So typically you'll find that they're at least solution aware. But yeah, the other thing is if they've come here from an email and they're already on your list, then you may not even need to do this much work as such. You may be able to just push them to it pretty directly. But with time, I discovered an investment strategy less volatile than the S&P 500 and with a high yield that yielded 12 to 19% annual returns each year. Look, I'm not an expert on crypto, growth stocks, or real estate, but I know a lot about dividend stocks. I've spent the last 20 years studying them. Over time, I've discovered some secrets and tricks used by big names in finance like Donald Trump, Warren Buffett, or Benjamin Graham. Secrets like the rule of 8, discover on page 101. Again, and now you're bringing it back to the offer, to the book specifically, after not mentioning the book at all, like here. Right? You're just kind of vaguely talking about how you can help people earn more money, not talking about the book, not talking about the system. It's fine to introduce the guru, but you better relate it back to this book, this offer you've already brought up, okay? So, like, this is what I mean. It feels like a sale letter light, and it feels like you're kind of doing what you've seen in sales letters, kind of comparing it to like a free plus shipping offer with a book, but like the narrative, the golden thread isn't quite there, because you've started with a direct offer lead, and you've started by kind of lauding this system. I've told you obviously how I would change that hero section, but now you're kind of going into more about the guru and his history and like, you know, other people have made money doing this. And talking about other people having made money with this is fine, but you need to focus it around the system, okay? This needs to become a system promo, right? Or a system sales page. G-Man says, would you even include cred discovery story in direct offer? See, this is the thing. Like, usually you wouldn't, because direct leads and like offer leads and things, they go to more aware audiences who already know the gurus. You don't need to spend loads of time introducing yourself, which is one of the things that's throwing me about this. So, like I said at the beginning, like, I'm doing my best to review this with little information, but I need to see the email that they sent earlier, how they got onto the list, what they're expecting anyway, okay? So, like, all of this, you know, with this amount, you receive an annual... No, you can't say will. Let's imagine you reinvested $12,000 a year. you would have received 2 million. That's too big. Imagine you invested $12,000 every year. You would have made $2 million. That kind of my bullshit detector goes off, and I'm like, well, that sounds like too much money for me. Whereas the S&P 500, you only receive 703,000. That 702,000. I can already tell you right now, and I'm not even reading this, and now I'm literally just skimming it to try and make it make sense, so I haven't got to get engrossed in the numbers. There's way too many numbers going on here. You would have received 2 million. The S&P would have only had 700 grand. That's a difference of 1.5 million. You would have received 182 grand. That's more than 15,000 a month. Not everyone has $1,000 a month. Let's see what happens to 300. 702,000. 56,000 anyway. 4,000 per month. 1,000. Too many fucking numbers. Like month per year, dividend, percentage, like comparison, difference. Way too much going on here. So even just in these evidence sections, there's too much. And all of this is just for a direct free plus shipping offer. And you're treating this like a full-blown sales letter. So, I want to get down to kind of like the offer section where you talk about the bonus. I think, honestly, what I would do is I would go away and I would read some more free plus shipping sales pages. Okay, I'm going to move on to the other ones now because obviously I've only got like less than 30 minutes left. But I've given you very, very clear advice on how to improve like the lead and how I would completely change the like narrative structure of this sales page. Take that, change that, run with it, and go and actually swipe other free plus shipping offers. Forget sales letters, just go and swipe other free plus shipping offers and see what they talk about. Usually they talk about a system. I also want you to think about what emails have gone before this and what the context of people like going to this page is going to be, okay? Obviously, I haven't got time to review all 12 pages of this right now, but like changing those things and thinking around the general value edits that I've just given you is going to help you then, and obviously I've given you a few kind of specific function and line edits as well, but like is going to help you create this in a way that makes more sense for your audience, okay? All right. Ooh, a video ad script. I love me some video ad scripts. Video ad script, conversion objective, lift qualified traffic from Facebook ad to copper product page. Better copper, Elfie mushroom coffee. Fuck off. Ashwagandha. Cool. Don't have time to repeat this right now. the product page. Additional notes, non-copy notes for filming are shown as that. These are 3 video scripts for healthy. Here's the product page. Copy summary. Angle equals I'm never drinking this again. Right, video script. 3 reasons why I'm never drinking mushroom coffee from Cuppa again. I have way too much enemy. Enemy? That's a Freudian slip. I have way too much energy. C, unlike regular coffee, this mushroom coffee also contains L-theanine, ashwagandha, and MCT, meaning there's no crash and your energy stays constant all day long. Number 2, and don't even get me started on focus. I'm too focused when I work. I became so focused and productive at work that even my boss came and asked me what happened. Plus, I wake up feeling less groggy, better rested because I sleep more at night. Seriously, who's got time for all that sleep? No, but really. I would have switched to mushroom coffee sooner. It's literally the same taste as my normal coffee, minus all the annoying side effects like the jitters, anxiety, and bloated feeling. Not to mention that mushroom coffee boosts gut health and brain health, helping you stay healthy as you age. And right now you can buy for as little as 58p or 71 cents per cup, and it's on limited 30% off sale right now. Plus, it has a money-back guarantee, so you don't risk anything by trying it. And it's backed up by over 614 5-star reviews, so click below and try it now for 30% off. Right. That's fine. It's fine. Is it special? No, it's following the exact formula that a load of other e-com stores are doing right now, which has seen some success. So it's okay. All I'm going to say is like it's kind of boring and it's kind of what everyone else is doing. So it's going to struggle to cut through the noise unless you're outspending everyone else. It literally tastes the same as my normal coffee minus all the annoying side effects. Okay, I haven't got time to get into a whole massive thing about video ad scripts right now, but video ad scripts, you should really be thinking about testing each one with between 3 and 5 different hooks, okay? If you want to run the kind of, you shouldn't, 3 reasons not to do this and run 1, 2, and 3 reasons, it's fine for you to do that. Really test between 3 and 5 different hooks that talk about completely different things. They can still relate into the rest of the script, of course. One of the things I would be like is, for example, something like someone holding a mushroom and holding like a cup of coffee and just like, having someone, just like slam the mushroom into the coffee, right, for example, or like smash them together and all of a sudden it comes up with this like bag, right? And that's one hook, right? That's kind of a bizarre, a weird thing, something happening, there's action, and the voiceover can be saying something along the lines of like there's no way that mushroom can possibly taste like coffee. And then that can be like 1.5 seconds, and then it's just like you have someone going like, you're like, what? No way. And then you're like, there are 3 reasons I'm never going to drink mushroom coffee from Cuppa ever again. And then you can move into it, okay? Have 3 to 5 hooks that are different, like very, very different from each other, that then move into that. That's a really important thing because just getting that hook right may be a reason for someone to watch it. Yeah, you can try this formula. It might work for you. It might not. I definitely see the efficacy going down. The much better thing to do is to focus on like one idea per ad and to really hammer home into it and be like, mushrooms, like I'm going to say it, mushrooms are better than coffee beans. Hear me out. Okay. Like this new mushroom coffee does every single thing that regular coffee beans do, but I have no side effects, no jitters, no grogginess, no lack of sleep, blah, blah, blah. Right. You're being extremely one-dimensional in I'm comparing mushrooms to coffee here, and that's all I'm doing in this ad, instead of jumping around from, it contains these things, and like I'm really focused when I work, and I'm less groggy when I sleep in this kind of weird like number 1, number 2, number 3 way. And this kind of gimmick of, I'm never doing it again. You can be a lot more kind of one-dimensional, I'm just going to focus on this thing and talk about how mushrooms are better than coffee beans, and I'm never going back, for example. Mushroom coffee tastes awful, right? Wrong. I had a copy of this science-backed mushroom coffee from Cuppa and I couldn't tell the difference. Yep, I think that's a good way to start. Not only does it taste the same, but there's no afternoon crash, meaning that I'm way more productive at work because my energy doesn't crash after lunch. Also, I feel much lighter because this mushroom coffee doesn't make me bloated like normal coffee used to. Not to mention my sleep improved. So something I'd recommend, you are just benefit stacking, which is fine with a product like this. I do see it work probably more with supplements and similar things than with other products. However, please try thinking about one idea per ad and not moving from grogginess to sleep improvement to this other thing. Just focus on just saying, if coffee gives you a bad stomach, if it gives you a bad stomach or leaves you feeling bloated, you need to watch this video. Okay, so the reason that coffee gives you that bloating feeling is because of something called blah, 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 which is in the coffee. It bloats you because it puffs you up, whatever the mechanism is. But what if I told you there's a way you can get all the regular benefits of coffee that you enjoy, like making you feel energized, without having that bloating feeling? That's where I learned about Cuppa coffee. This is insane. Instead of coffee beans, it actually uses mushrooms. It tastes exactly the same. I know it sounds crazy, but it's so amazing, and I never get bloated anymore. So all I'm doing in that is I'm just talking about like that one specific thing, which is bloating and stomach problems, okay? And I might be adding in like a benefit that to cull an objection where people are like, surely that tastes horrible. But I'm focusing on that one golden thread, that one idea all the way through. So that is what I recommend for that. Did mushroom coffee really work, or is it just marketing mumbo jumbo? Well, I tried it for a week, and here's what happened. I really like these style of ads, by the way. They're kind of like, I tried this myself. Here's what happened. Really like these. These are doing really well at the moment. Day 1, I had no afternoon crash and stay energized all day, helped me stay productive and get more work done. Day 2, I started feeling calmer through the day, less jittery. Day 3, I woke up less groggy. Day 4, I started feeling lighter and less bloated. Day 5, I did Look, this is good copy, okay? This copy is good, right? You've written it well. I would say it's suffering from like idea fatigue. Like the angles are fine, the structures are fine, like they're formulas that work elsewhere. It's just I would be a lot more aggressive in testing very, very different ideas and doing one idea per ad and having each of those ads with 3 to 5 different hooks, which isn't always your job as the copywriter because obviously you're taking orders from a marketing strategist or creative director or whatever. But like the copy's written fine. And like honestly, I think the biggest critique I have of it is just darting around from thing to thing, which isn't always your fault because obviously oftentimes brands want to mention all the benefits. So, something to Something to keep in mind. But the copy itself is fine. I think you're doing a decent job of that. Just think about the things I've said, particularly around testing new ideas. Okay. How much more have we got here? 1, 2. Oh. Who submitted this long advertorial? I'm joking. Okay. Target audience. Men 20 to 40 feeling burnout and drained even though they're young and active. They want to become the best version of themselves but suffer by being held by chronic fatigue. Product is Shalgi, a natural supplement from the Himalayas that restores energy by improving deficient areas in the body. Testosterone, blah, blah, blah. A value email to an email list of customers who already bought supplements from this brand before. Okay. Subject line. 1 of 3. The 3 deadly sins of low energy levels in men. PT. 3 unknown mechanisms that help you cure them. Body. If you're clueless to why your energy levels hit rock bottom, I'm not massive on that subject line. I know the 1 out of 3 thing can work for sure, but like, I don't really care at this point. You've not made me care enough that this is part of a series if it's just a random value email. So, fucking hell. So I would just say, like, instead I would just say, you know, like, this is why you have low energy levels as a man, right? That I think would be better. If you're clueless to why your energy level hit rock bottom, even though you mostly eat well and exercise regularly, and you wonder what you're missing, it sends me to a link, does it? Where does it send me? It's kind of early on for a link when you've not even fucking given any indication as to what you're going to be talking about. Then listen closely, because in the next couple of days, I'll show you the 3 most overlooked causes for daily afternoon crashes in men. Hint, most so-called nutrition and performance experts on the internet are barely thinking about it, for reasons I'll tell you in email 3. Anyway, let's take a look at the first cause, low ATP production. ATP is the primary energy source for your cells. It basically transports energy directly into your cells. Without it, your cells, no matter how healthy you eat, wouldn't be able to function. Keeping those cells properly fueled with ATP is vital for every essential process in your body because you're literally run by your cells. You've said cells a lot, just so you're aware. I'm getting that thing where I've heard too much. Lacking ATP in your body, on the flip side, is the cause for many modern illnesses, such as chronic fatigue, a weak immune system, poor performance in the gym. In the GYM. Since, well, your cells lack fuel. So ignoring this is like trying to drive a race car with an almost empty gas tank. Ignoring all the pit stops to refuel on the way. I don't like that analogy. I think that's just, you've just shoehorned an analogy in there for no reason. Ignoring this like trying to drive a race car with an almost empty gas tank. Ignoring all pit stops to refuel on the way. Your energy sputters and struggles to get going. With low fuel, we can barely keep up, let alone reach top speed. I think there's a much better analogy to be used there. Like if you're talking about like cells versus food, like versus like regular energy. I actually liked where this was going, and I think this is okay. Like even with what I pointed out, it's fine because like you are actually teaching me something. I'm like, oh, okay, like I did go, oh, interesting. Okay, I've never heard of ATP production. Like the fact that but I would frame this a lot more as like you've been told that healthy eating and going to the gym is what keeps you active. Like that is not true, right? The biggest indicator of what keeps you active and non-fatigued is actually something called ATP. ATP is what drives your cells, which after all are what power the whole of your body. It doesn't matter what's in your stomach if your cells don't even have the fuel that they need to keep going, right? That makes more sense to me. Then you could say something like, instead of like, oh, a race car analogy, if you really want to stick with a fuel thing, I would say something along the lines of trying to solve your low energy by eating is like trying to get a petrol car to go by filling it up with diesel. You're not even ingesting the right thing, or you're not even using the right fuel. Okay, that is what I would say. I'm just going to ask this because Lock Handle can't wait a second. That is going into the long course, so that is taken down for now. So you won't be able to find that until it goes back into the long course, which should be in the next kind of month and a half. Likewise, your body energy system is similarly sluggish, struggling to perform its best and barely making it through the day, no matter how much you've slept or how well you ate. What are the main cause for ATP? I still don't really feel like I know what ATP is. You've kind of just named it. and you've said it's the primary energy source, but like, okay, why is it the primary energy source? What does it help me do? Can you give me a real life example of when I might notice it or when I might not? I still don't feel like that this has been proven to me yet. So that seed of logic needs to be planted a bit more firmly. Right. I'm not going to read the rest of this because I've already read enough to know, like, you can write well and you've got kind of good ideas in there, but you just need to structure this a bit more. Like, make sure you're completing my curiosity each phase. When you open loops, make sure you close them and make sure I feel like, oh wow, I've actually learned something from that. That's really interesting. Explain ATP a bit more. Explain what the mechanism is and why I need it. Give me a solution for sure. Now, if you're trying to sell within this first value email, that's fine. Like, that is absolutely fine. Just be very obvious about, like, this is why you've created this new product, okay? Don't just go, oh, so here's a product we just happen to have. Say, look, when we've learned about this and we've done all the studies, this is why we've made this thing. So really think about the mechanism a bit more and structure it in a way that is a bit more like, okay, here's what you've been told. This is not true. Here's a reality. This is the mechanism that makes it work. Therefore, there's only really one way you can beat fatigue, or one of the ways you can really beat fatigue is by recharging your ATP. How do you do that? Well, here's the other mechanism for how that happens, and we've created a product for that. So if you'd like to have a look, here it is. By the way, keep an eye out for the next email tomorrow where we're going to go into another very common cause. But this is definitely something you should try if you find yourself not being able to stay energetic, right? It's written fairly well. Obviously, a few mistakes here and there, but you just need to, like, think really about the structure of this. Advertorial. Oh, man. I should have started with this one. All right. Written to women suffering from period pain and can't do things as they planned, and it's taking a toll on their health physically and mentally. This advertorial is like a doctor explaining why normal products are not helping and why this new stuff helps. The audience is problem solution aware and finding solution for their never-ending period pain each month. Well, new and different, like, as you said, like new stuff, you know, that's effectively what we want to focus on in an advertorial. So it's nice that you've said that there. Senior gynecologist reveals why period pain is a thing of the past for over 50,000 women. Interesting, intriguing headline. It would certainly get me to read on if this was, you know, an issue that was affecting me, because it is implying intrigue very well. It's implying that, when I'm implying intrigue, it's implying that I'm going to find out something useful. Senior gynecologist, so immediately we start with some kind of authority here that makes this, everything else we're about to hear, feel like it's backed up by proof. Reveals something new. Why period pain, the thing I care about, is a thing of the past, the thing I want, for over 50,000 women. More proof. Well, I need to know what this is now. Nice headline. News reported this is something we've never seen before. No sign of pain at all, no bloating. News reported. That doesn't really, I don't understand what that means there. This is something we've never seen before. No sign of pain at all, no bloating or even altered mood swings. Image with before, after period pain plus doctor with a green screen. Okay, I'm not quite sure. I don't know if that's a sub headline or what. I'm not even sure. That's confused me a little bit. Dear ladies who deserve real relief from period pain, my name is Dr. Andreas and I've been a gynecologist for 14 years. Throughout my career, I've helped several age ranges of women struggling with menstrual health. And despite the fact every woman is different, their mood, confidence, social plans, and ability to concentrate are all disrupted by one thing: menstrual cramps. I'm terrified to go out and can't even take care of my plants. All I can do is take more ibuprofen, use a heating pad, lay in an awkward position to relieve some pain. Alice here loves gardening from her plants every day, but her period pain has robbed her from spending time on her hobbies. Should I just put a small photo with the captions or what the person says, or just completely delete the section, go straight on to why you were doing? To be honest, as I started reading this, I was thinking you can probably delete all of these. This is kind of it's almost doing like PAS, like problem, agitate, solution. And it's like, you don't need to agitate. Period pain is like such an intense, horrible thing to deal with that, like, if you suffer from that and you see that problem, you're just like, oh God, yeah, I want to get rid of it. So you don't really need to agitate it by saying, oh, here are all these people. You know, it's fine if you want to kind of go like a single, like before and after here, if you really want to. But to be honest, I think just cut this section and move on to the rest of it. While you're dealing with cramps, bloating, headaches, and mood swings every single month, Over 50,000 women have found relief from period pain and are out there enjoying their hobbies, acing big presentations, traveling stress-free, dancing with friends, and living their best lives. They no longer rely on solutions that only mask the symptoms. Instead, they found a solution that eliminates the root cause, providing real lasting relief without the need for temporary fixes. This is such a classic mechanism facilitation, where you are effectively saying, these other things only focus on symptoms. I'm going to focus on the root cause. I use this all the time in my copy. It works super well. So yeah, and really well in advertorials as well. You could maybe be a little bit stronger about it instead of just kind of in one sentence. You could just start like most. I guess it's fine, but I would just say like most solutions, and I would name what the solutions are. So you do not statements like warming pads, like pain medication, like stomach massager or whatever else. Like only mask the symptoms. They have never given women a real chance at eliminating the root cause of period pain, right? And that is what 50,000 women have now discovered. No more taking painkillers to relieve the pain, which gives you a few hours at most, putting on a heating pad to feel comfortable with the pain, or even opting for birth control pills that give you severe problems in the long run. So yeah, I would kind of move that to like a kind of line here, a smaller section here that just talks about the common solutions and really attacking them. According to research, 1 in 3 women have tried over-the-counter pain relief, such as paracetamol or ibuprofen, to help with their symptoms, but the big pharmacies aren't telling you why these forms of pain relief are inadequate. How NSAIDs work and the major flaw of these mainstream painkillers. Okay, so I'm going to stop reading this, and I'm just going to kind of skim through it, just so I kind of get the thing. So you're saying, and regular painkillers don't work. That's because they don't go straight into the bloodstream. They take up to an hour to work. A bunch of women don't get relief from those. So a revolutionary solution is needed. The breakthrough discovery is skip the process of pills being digested. Okay. Immediate effect to get rid of period pain. Bestsellers for your mood. The reason I wanted to skim ahead there is because I feel like you're kind of contradicting yourself. Because you said up here, that classic thing, they only mask the symptoms, they don't eliminate the root cause. Why is that? So why is what you're talking about different? Because it's still a painkiller, right? It just doesn't go through the digestion tract. Right? So surely your only real gripe with painkillers is that they take a while to work. Like that's kind of now what it's sounding like. So I just feel like there's a bit of a value problem with this whole advertorial, which is you're talking about, it doesn't get to the root of the problem, but this doesn't get to the root of the problem either, right? It just blurs pain is what I'm hearing here. Lunesta instant stripes are why the thin sole method is so effective. I want to give you a closer look at what scientists found and why this breakthrough could change the way you manage period pain forever. The very complex and complex production using the thin sole method is a patented low temperature drying process, which means that all active ingredients retain their effect and only develop dissolve through contact with the tongue and saliva. So when you take an instant stripe, it instantly dissolves in your tongue, and since they're not pills, they don't have to go through your digestive system and stomach acid, so the ingredients don't get killed. Okay. Bloodstream more immediately, more potent effects. For period relief. Now, you've got a good idea here, okay? You've got a good idea around most tablets and things that, most things that help period pain either don't help or they take too long, okay? But you're not saying that. You're saying that they just mask the symptoms, which is what your product does. Because I started reading this going, oh, fucking hell, they found something to get rid of the root cause. This is not getting rid of the root cause of period pains. This is just masking it through a quicker pain relief system. So really consider how you're talking about this, because you're not actually doing what you're saying. But I do think, as I was reading this, like this can be simplified for sure. Like talking about mucous membranes in the mouth, you don't need to go that far with the science. But instantly dissolves in your tongue so it gets straight into your blood vessels, which takes it around your body. That's nice and simple. That's a slightly higher level of science. It still makes sense to me and allows me to logically understand why it's going to work better than digesting something. Okay, so I like the lines around you saying kind of, period like pain relief, like symptoms and ibuprofen and stuff is not effective because it has to go through the whole digestive tract, which means it takes ages to work. Plus, it loses so much of the ingredients to your stomach, not to your bloodstream, which is where the pain relief happens. That's why we've invented this thing that goes straight into your bloodstream through your tongue, nice and simple, that gets immediately into your bloodstream, goes around your body. Within 5 minutes, you've got relief, and it's more effective. That is the message you need to be writing, okay? You've kind of got the structure there, and like this works for advertorial, like apart from the small bits I've talked about. I like the intro. I like the problems you're focusing on. You just need to be a bit more, you need to have a bit more logical cadence. You need to have a bit more kind of, other period things suck because they're just not really that effective. They don't work properly. Like women, you can even say like women agree or people agree that when painkillers work, it's the best way to mask the pain. But the problem is they take so long and they often don't really do what they should because they have to go through the digestive tract. Going through the digestive tract strips away the ingredients, which means it doesn't work as well. This breakthrough discovery has happened. The thing that makes pain relief work is it getting into your bloodstream, not going through your digestive tract. So this thing has been invented that goes directly into your bloodstream harmlessly and painlessly through the tongue, gets to work in 5 minutes and doesn't lose any of the ingredients that make pain relief work. It's working so well for women now. It's been designed specifically to help target period pain. There it goes. That is how I'd restructure this. I think you're clearly good at writing. You need to make sure your logical leaps are a bit closer together so you're not going into too much science, and change the kind of value edits that you've got here to talk about the way that I have just done. You've got something really good. So decent advertorial. I like the way you're thinking. I like the way it starts. There's just a few kind of logic gaps or things that you seem to be almost like disagreeing with yourself on, okay? But decent. All right, look at that. I am going to go a few minutes longer than I planned just because we're nearly done. Context. Hi, this is a Facebook ad script for a skincare. That was Zani. But yeah, Zani, decent work. Decent work. I think just do what I've said, and that'll be a really good advertorial. Clear the sub-headline up as well, because that did not make sense to me. That was very confusing. I just didn't really understand what was being said. Okay, quick question from Victor. In an interview, I heard you used to write a lot. Do you handwrite your own copy sometimes, then type it up later? Nope. The only time I ever do that is if I think of something and I only have a pen with me, or like a Post-it note or something, and I'll write it down. But no, I don't do that anymore. This Facebook ad script for a skincare product. Would like to know how I can improve this. Hook 1. 4 biggest regrets I have after trying this Korean CC cream. See, same thing. Such a common thing right now. Like, oh, my biggest regrets, or I shouldn't do this again. Top 4 reasons why I regret getting this Korean CC cream. Those are the same thing. That's not a different hook. So the hooks are meant to be very different. Here's why I regret this CC cream. These hooks are not different enough to make a difference, okay? The difference from hooks needs to come from big visuals, completely different ways of saying things, not just changing a couple of words. Number 1, I wish I switched sooner. I thought my foundation was fine until I saw how much smoother and fresher my skin looked with this. Number 2, wasting so much time on my makeup routine. I used to layer primer, moisturizer, sunscreen, and foundation every morning. Now, this CC cream does it all in one step. This is confusing. Like, I know you're doing you're kind of doing the switcheroo, like I was explaining with the last one, but you're actually giving reasons like why you're glad you switched to it, which doesn't make... You're not even framing these as negative things. Like, it should... The way this is meant to work is... I wish I switched sooner. That makes sense. But wasting so much time on my makeup routine is like you're just regretting what you used to do, which is not how this formula is supposed to work. It's meant to be you regret something now, like, oh, it's made my life so much easier. So many people come up and flirt with me more, Or, sorry, it's not made my life easier. It's made my life so much harder because so many people come and flirt with me all the time. Or, like the guy I have a crush on, like, come up to me and start flirting with me. So it's really annoying because now I have less time. Or, oh, man, like what can another one for skin cream be? I feel like so smooth, so I'm late to work because I just sit there for ages just touching my face and can't believe how like smooth I feel. So go and watch the the one I did earlier in this stream where they were doing like, oh, the reasons I regret like switching to this thing, or the reasons I would never do this again. Look at that, swipe what they have done basically, and adjust it for yours, because right now this doesn't quite make sense. Right, easy. Last one. And then I did promise you guys I would show you give you a quick sneak peek of something I'm working on, so we'll do that, and that'll only take a couple minutes. Hi Alex, thanks for doing this. No problem. This copy is for period underwear, a product replacing regular sanitary pads and tampons. It is a sample/practice email. Target people of all ages who menstruate, largely women. Core problems: leakage through pads, having to change every 2-3 hours, bedsheet stains, odor issues. It's a lot of core problems to have in one email. When is this audience? Is this a welcome email? I want to know what kind of email it is and when it's going to people. I need that context. Subject line: congrats on getting rid of the big bloody mess. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Alex. Firstly, the Thinks team appreciates you because you decided to make your life easier. So this is definitely this is a oh my god, what's the name of it? In a welcome email, what this says about you. So it's a WTS. ABY, no, AY email. What this says about you email is effectively the first email in a welcome sequence after someone's bought, basically saying, oh, you're awesome for these reasons because you bought from us. Firstly, the Thinks team appreciates you because you decided to make your life easier. Why do we exist? Hi, I'm Vanessa, the founder of Thinks. Long story short, get rid of that. Fluff copy. I was sick of dealing with pad leaks, changing pads every 2 to 3 hours, cleaning bedsheet stains, and ruining my favorite pants. I've had enough. I'd had enough. I was already a garment designer, so I set on a mission to not have messy periods ever again. Because yes, periods shouldn't be messy. They should be easygoing. They shouldn't make you want to end your life. That's very strong, but fair enough in an email. Feel like your uterus is twisting and turning, or force you to sleep at a particular angle just to avoid leaks. And so Thinks was born, designed to give you leak-proof, worry-free protection no matter what time of the month it is. Now that you're here, get ready to experience a better period. Here's what to do next. Check out our website to place your order. Why would someone be on this email list? That's what I want to know. Have they signed up to a lead magnet? What lead magnet? I need more context. Read our quick guide on how to care for your Thinks for long-lasting protection. Again, like if they haven't placed an order yet, why would they read a guide on how to care for it? Do you want to communicate with thousands of people who've said goodbye to messy periods for good? Place your order here. Welcome to Thinks family. We're so glad you're here, Vanessa. I need more context to critique this like meaningfully. Like it's written fine, like it's okay. But you've started this as congrats on getting rid of this, which implies that you've just bought, but then it says, oh, go and order, like to place your order. So clearly you haven't bought. You need to get a lot clearer on what this email is doing and why it's actually being sent to someone. But yeah, a classic way to think about a welcome email like this is what this says about you. So you're just making them feel good about like the step they just took, and then introducing your mission, which I think this does relatively well. You know, a message from the founder, you know, kind of like showing that they're relatable is a decent idea for a brand, and to make them feel like, oh, actually this is quite a nice community to be a part of. And I think you do a relatively good job of doing that, to be fair. But there's not really too much I can critique on this email, because like I think as a brand building email it does fine. You just need to think about the point of this email. I actually think it's I actually quite like that as a subject line. Congrats on getting. I'd maybe get rid. You know, I maybe like congrats on something, the big bloody mess, instead of getting rid of. So congrats on binning the big bloody mess, for example, just to cut it down. But I quite like big bloody mess because obviously it's obvious what you're talking about, and it shows you're kind of trying to like, you know, humanize, like, you know, the reader a bit more, show it's not something to be embarrassed about. It's a casual thing we can talk about. I quite like that as a brand building thing. But yeah, you just need to get clear on who this email is actually for and when it's being sent. It's written relatively nicely. And also don't just say, here's what to do next and give them kind of 3 things. I would recommend trying to push them to one CTA. If they haven't ordered yet, it would be ordering the flagship product and giving them a list of reasons why to do that. All right. Cool. That's us done. There's like 1 or 2 questions I'm going to answer. I'm going to show you guys one thing quickly, just because you're here. So as part of the long course, which Noah is editing as we speak, which is already on like 12 hours long, and I think it's going to get up to 15 to 18 hours long. I'm actually going to film one more masterclass for it, which is giving a kind of overview of how to write copy, like in a kind of process, just to make things super crystal clear for people. Like, we're putting so much time and effort into this. We want it to be really good. We've refilmed bits, we've rescripted bits, we've moved stuff about, we've chopped and changed things to make sure it's really, really good and simple, easy to understand. So something that I'm currently working on is just like a how to actually write copy, formulas versus like principles, quick guide for using stuff, how to like actually, do a copywriting process, the like kind of 6 steps to kind of get there, examples of doing that. So I'm working on this right now. I don't think I'm going to live stream this. I think I'm probably just going to film it at some point, because I like live streaming is super fun and I really love doing it, but also it makes filming this for the course kind of hard, because you have to manage a live chat and you have to talk to the camera and you have to remember to say things in certain ways. And obviously if you mess up, it's hard to go back and refilm stuff because people are also watching you live. So I might film it myself. I don't know. I might stream it. But this also probably isn't going to be as interesting to a lot of people because they only really care about getting clients, not actually learning how to write better copy. But this is what I'm doing at the moment. I'm going through this, making this a whole new thing. Just to kind of slot into the new course, just so everything's super clear. So hopefully you guys can look forward to that. It should be coming out in the next month or two. All right, super quick then. We've got a couple of questions. Oh no, I already answered that one. So we've got one question, and I'm not going to answer any more because I have to go. Alex, when you first began cold outreaching, did you position yourself as a copywriter or a digital marketer? Lots of business owners don't even know what copyright does. Yep, very good point. And it's a lesson I learned relatively quickly. I definitely positioned myself as a copywriter and said, oh, hi, I think I positioned myself as a content writer. I was like, oh, I can write blogs for you and I can, help with emails and stuff. And then I kind of did like copywriter as well, but I started to realize like, oh, people don't really give a shit about copywriting. They care about making more sales. So instead I started positioning myself just as a way to help, like a person who can help them make more sales. So I started to use the term marketing more than copywriting. Even though I knew I was a copywriter and I was mainly doing copywriting, I would be like, hey, I can help you with your advertising. I can help, I saw this leaflet that came through my door. Like, oh, I saw you were running some Facebook ads. Like, I really love this about them. I'd love to help you try and make some more from them because I actually use your service because, I live in Bedford. I live in this town. So I'd love to help with your advertising if you wouldn't mind. So I kind of started doing that. So yeah, I definitely erred more towards talking about like marketing generally. Then I would start talking to them about like, oh, I do copywriting, if I then got into kind of a good conversation with them and I explained why copywriting specifically was really good. And I would kind of almost teach them. And so often they were interested in it. But yeah, usually I would talk about marketing. All right, guys, I'm going to go. I hope this stream was useful. I hope you learned some things. I think there's probably a few fairly decent clips in there for us to do. So I'll kick some of those over to Noah. Thank you for watching and joining. It's always fun doing a Whetstone Wednesday. I imagine next week, who knows? I may even stream this masterclass I just showed you guys I'm making. I don't know. But that's not a promise. And I guess I'll see if you haven't joined the Copy That Discord yet, please. There's a link in the description. Please go and do that and come and chat to us. Any other questions? Obviously, feel free to @ me in the Discord. I am going to go to bed, probably, and stuff. Cool. Thanks. Bye.